morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy January 2023. That is right. It is a new year. A new year here on Hoop Spaces. A new year for you. Happy New Year, man. I hope you had a great holiday. I did. No Hoop Spaces review today. Today was supposed to be the return, but after last night, I couldn't do it. I actually walked away from my computer and phone. As you know, by now, if you follow sports, safety Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills suffered a cardiac arrest in game. And in the group chat that I'm in, and those who are in it can testify to this, I called it. It was either VFib, ventricular fibrillation, or it was what they call corpus. I already forgot it and I moved off the notes. Anyway, sudden impact hit him in the chest, caused the regular heartbeat and the heart to cease. CPR was given. He was then medevaced to a hospital where he remains induced in a medical coma in critical but stable condition. Our thoughts and prayers out to him and his family. Just a young man chasing his dream, and unfortunately, an injury happened. Hopefully, we will get good news coming in a little bit later on his condition, but the game goes on, not in the NFL, but in the NBA world. Lots to get to. Plenty of scores over the weekend, as well as, the mood here. Like, I tried to tell you to pick up these Kobe Bryant magazines, and, nobody, listened. And so I put out what I have. And I'm going to put out a tweet from Slam Goods here of what they have in stock. And I urge you to take advantage of the promo code HoopSpaces and pick up a copy because it's on sale for $24 today. We'll get into that and more on the scores in a few minutes. Some cool news. I am still awaiting word on what could be a pretty big deal in terms of what Hoop Spaces will be able to do in the year of 2023. But I wanted to go back and take some time and go through 2022. So here's Hoop Spaces in the year of edition here. We had, in the year of 2022, 219 shows. So 219 within that calendar year, because if you remember, we actually started in 2021 with the NBA season. Over 8,000 people have followed since 2022. So shout out to everybody who's followed and helped build this wonderful community here where we can talk basketball without fear of reprisal or snarky comebacks and stuff. Money earned. Negative $53,584. That is all the money that I've been able to earn either through the Twitter Spark program, donations, or now merchandise sales, minus lost wages. So there you go. Some good and some eye-opening stats there in terms of lost wages. But hopefully, with the success of what we've been able to build, we'll be able to go in 2023 and make what has been an awesome journey of community building and creating into the next moving in from grassroots into mainstream, I guess, even though I won't probably ever be picked up by a mainstream media platform. But I just wanted to give you like a bird's eye view of what we were able to do within one calendar year. So shout outs to you, everybody down below who's ever spent any part of your day here in Hoop Spaces. I am extremely grateful. Also, within that year, we've had some great success from people who were Hoop Spaces creators. The All Nat pod with Nat Fluential doing her thing on Brother from Another. I'm going to put her tweet where she was able to talk to Klay Thompson last night in the scrum post game, asking him how he's going to lock in after playing 46 minutes. We'll share that. Shout out to her. Cedric Shine and Jeff J. Says and Sean with the W live from the Mecca. All three of them individually obtaining successes in 2022. Shouts out to them. We've got Dime Dropper Pod, who's now the host of Locked On Clippers, your daily Locked On Clippers beat podcaster. So shout out to him. And a whole bunch of others who have succeeded within that calendar year. Like, it's amazing and phenomenal. And next people up, like I'm looking at my man Jose down below. Give Jose a round of applause and a follow there, ladies and gentlemen. Him and Rolo leading the 77 Spaces charge, bringing in Jazz, the scammer sultan of Twitter and MFL. Like they are going to be big, just like the Dallas Mavs outsiders are big. So I'm happy for them. Malika Walker in the Rewind Pod, I'm happy for her. And then my man KP, the executive hater down below. Um, we'll get to where we're going to be able to do what we call for public consumption, which is an idea to be able to bring in music, pop culture, and entertainment as well. And I see some good stuff coming in the year 2023 for him as well. But lots to get to, all right? Lots to get to. And the hands are raised. So I say thank you. But let me go ahead, hit this button here so I can do the read, and then I'll go ahead and go over some of the scores dating back to Saturday. All right. Welcome, everybody, to your first 2023 episode of Hoop Spaces. We're brought to you by our season sponsor, SlamGoods.com. Head over to SlamGoods.com, and you can use our promo code HoopSpaces to save 15% off of your entire purchase. Once people start giving their good mornings, I'm going to put in the big board up there, ladies and gentlemen, one of the Kobe Bryant tribute packets that's on sale for $24. Head over to slamgoods.com and pick it up for $24. Use promo code HoopSpaces. You save an additional 15%. So you're going to save an additional, $360? It's a no-brainer. So go ahead, get ready to head on over there and pick up something that is going to enrich your life. I've already got the picture of the one that I have. I've got the Kobe trilogy. That's sold out. You're going to have to wait for them to reprint it. But you can get your copy on the Kobe's memorial package, which again, $24. I'll get that tweet up there in a moment. Brought to you by SlamGoods.com. If you ever miss any of the show, you can always head over to YouTube. You can catch the entire show unedited, so you can hear what is said in full context. Powered by AudioLabs.io, and also our partner Watch Playback. We'll be getting back into that as well. We were starting in December, but my son's swimming practice, they changed their time, which pushed it back later. So we don't get home now until about 9. But we're going to get to the point where we can open up and do a League Pass watch party so we can catch all the games over on playback.tv. All right, there you go. If you want a mic, go ahead and request those hands, and I'll get the first few people up here. I see 6 of the 12, JFK and Micah, ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'll say good morning to first JFK. JF, good morning. Man, that is riveting. That is great. I'm glad you're doing well, JF. We'll go to 6 of the 12. 6, what's up?
Oh, I just popped up.
Hey, you go, JF. Go, bro.
Go ahead, JF. Good morning.
No, good morning, Chris. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year's from me and my little noisy one. It's a great way to finish the year and to start the year with a W. So, shouts out to my Miami Heat. Man, we about to get into it, Chris. Happy New Year's to you.
Yeah, shout out to the Miami Heat. And we'll definitely talk about it because they've got some balanced scoring with what is becoming a big three down in Miami. With Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Mr. Tyler Hero. We'll get into that. We've got Micah getting ready to come up, but we'll go to 6 of 12 first. 6, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Chris. Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope everybody gets what they're working towards this year, whatever it may be. And also, retweet the show car on a big board. I would like to talk basketball, but I just wanted to mention everybody to kind of keep, DeMar Hamlin, the safety for the Buffalo Bills, in their thoughts and prayers. And that's really what I wanted to start off with today. It's something that you don't ever want to see. But yeah, that's what I want to start it with.
All right, yeah. Again, to those who watch football. I no longer do. I walked away a while ago, and a lot of it was due to how they hid concussions. As somebody who's had multiple concussions myself, to see some of the players go through what they go through post-playing career. My breaking point coincided with the suicide of Junior Seau and then the treatment of Colin Kaepernick. And I hope that you are able to take time and make your own decision. Don't allow an immediate emotional reaction to interrupt something you find passion for and comfort for and entertainment for. But you also, as an adult, have to say, is this too much? So that's never an easy conversation to have. I had to have this conversation with my son this morning. Obviously, as I've gained in popularity, he catches my phone. Like, I get so many alerts. And he saw the video, and he was asking if he was okay. To which I said, like, he's alive, but he's never going to be the same, right? And that's the risk that we take playing football. We'll go to Micah. Micah, good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you, Chris. I'm great. That's sad to see. Great basketball this weekend. Doc Rivers is still a great coach. Luka is still him. And Donovan Mitchell making history, 71-10-8. Wow, that is so amazing. And you know what? Making that statement does not diminish my favorite player doing what he's doing at all. So maybe some other people should try it. Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm of like mind, and yes, shout out to the greatness of Doc Rivers. He was able to inspire the young Pelicans to a wonderful win, and then brought him back home to teach them a lesson. So we do want to go ahead and shout out the greatness of Doc Rivers. We'll go to the best of seven to get his good morning. Seven, good morning.
Good morning, Chris, man. Happy New Year to the Hoop Spaces family. Just happy to be here. Another year, another great season in the NBA. My Lakers won 2 in a row, so I'm excited, ready to rock.
Yeah, no. Oh, you know what? You're gonna like this thing, right? Because like the tweet I'm getting ready to put out is the retirement and tribute issue for Kobe, right? It's on sale for $24. You can use the promo code and you'll save it. Like, I haven't taken the Kobe ones out the plastic, and I'm a Sixers fan, and I took out the Allen Iverson one out the plastic to read it, right? These Kobe's aren't ever leaving the plastic. You feel? So when I get this up here, check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, do me the favor. If you're up on stage or if you're trying to come up, like and retweet the show card. It's the very first tweet up here in the big board, and that helps me out. We'll go to KP next. KP, what up?
Peace, Chris. Happy New Year to you and the family, everyone in the room. Well, not everyone, because some of you guys I don't like. Just want to say the Warriors are on a 5-game winning streak. Half a game out of 5th spot. It's going to be, no, I'm not going to say scary, because anybody that says scary or spooky or any type of those things, those terminologies and things, they don't do well. I coined the term yesterday, Chris. In the Western Conference, it's not a race to the top or the bottom. It's a race to the middle. It's called the Midwest. Emphasis on mid. It's a lot of mid teams out there, except for the Warriors, which is once Steph and Wiggins and Kuminga and Wiseman and James. Like, well, once the players come back, it's a wrap for you guys. So enjoy your little parades down whatever block your team plays on, or enjoy your little light the beams, or enjoy your little gritties, enjoy your little triple doubles. Oh yeah, shout out to the frauds, aka the Suns, for being the frauds that you are. You are living up to who you are. It's called self-actualization. What's that, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Chris? Self-actualization. Yeah, shout out to the frauds. Y'all guys have been frauds. You're always going to be frauds. You're on the West Coast. You don't pay no state income tax, and you got fraudism. So, yeah, people hate socialism. I hate fraudism. So, yeah, man, it's a great day in the world. And then last thing, Benjamin Cumberbatch, you got to pay some reparations, brother. Ed Norton, I see you got reparations to pay too. Marvel, Marvel, you guys are hiring people that need to pay reparations. Shout out to James Gunn. You're doing a great job, sir. Thank you.
All right, I got to give you a round of applause for the Marvel Attack. If you have not heard, and this is why I'm excited when I'm able to get a little bit of extra time to help get this launch going for public consumption. One of the this generation's I guess you would call him a character actor, KP, right?
Indeed.
And he's phenomenal, by the way.
Absolutely.
He's absolutely phenomenal. His lineage is not.
he got bills to pay, and they're not rolling over. Shout out to the rollover bills.
And yes, self-actualization is the tip of Maslow's hierarchy in the pyramids of what you need in life. The basics: safety, relationships, esteem, which is really more ego, leads to self-actualization. So if you get the basics, which is, your survival stuff, food, water, shelter, you then reach the level of security and safety. Then you're able, from that position, to build relationships, to create and foster a community, to create a bubble, if you will, of belonging, which then leads to an increased understanding of respect for oneself, which then should lead to the understanding and ability to have respect and interest for others, which then leads to your ability to realizing your full potential, which is self-actualization. Give myself a round of applause. I haven't taken that in 20 years.
I could have just said, you could have just said, just be who you is. Like Jay-Z said, you is who you is before you got here.
But see, the problem with that, right? The problem with that is, what level was Jay-Z at when he realized that was the truth in life, right? That's the issue.
He said it on the album, Chris.
Well, no, but where was he in his point of life? Where was he? Like that's my thing.
Okay.
Like Young Jay never would have said that. So like Jay's been a dude for like a long time. Like he was where he saw himself before he had that success.
I don't want to get into this because everyone's blaming Rock Nation for everything out here. So I don't want to get into it. It's blaming Rock Nation for everything.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to drag it out. Shout out to some people below. I see Nat is in the building. You got to get in with her. The So You Think You're GM game show is getting ready to go back up. Stringer Bell is about to put the word out on these Twitter streets. Make sure you shoot her a follow. Rels Pels at the Pels and Whistles podcast on the Believe Network. Shout out to her. Make sure you tune in to get some good 100% biased perspective on those Pelicans who succumbed to the greatness of Doc Rivers. Evan Moore is in the building. He's reached out. We're going to talk sometime in the next week or so for some written work. We already said Jose's in the building, the best Mavs content you can have. Shout out Breeze, Viral Nico, Nick Take Jake. The Knicks is back up after washing the Suns. And Warren is down below. He is definitely in love with his Brooklyn Nets, who seem to be unstoppable. Up next, we will go to Joe about these Brooklyn Nets, say good morning to him, and then I'm going to get into the scores, and we'll start talking some hoops. Yeah. Like I set it up, I set it up perfect, right?
I'm sorry.
I flattered your Nets. I gave you an easy good morning. We were going to go into the scores, and then I was going to open up with 5-level killer and Jay the Wakandan. And like, here we are, like not even 19 minutes into 2023. And like, I'm already having to ad-lib the show.
I'm sorry. I was dealing with bake problems, stuff like that. And I, wanted to jump in before I went to work. So I apologize for that. But, I just want to say my public service announcement is that we're the best team in the NBA. We got the best duo in the NBA. KD is MVP. Kyrie should start. Should be a starter for All Star. And defensively, Clax is one of the premier defensive players in the year, and Coach Vaughn is coach candidate for the coach of the year. My post
Yeah.
good morning. Good
You
morning,
know
Chris.
what? Good morning, Joe. Happy New Year. Happy New Year also to the following people who come in, and even though they might not be able to come up on the mic, they come in and they generally say what up every day. TJ is in the building. Shout out to the man who's a Kevon Looney truther, Tiberius. EK is back on soil. What's up? Happy New Year to you. And Dip. What up, PJ the Hooper? It's good to see you. All right. Lots to get to. We're gonna go back starting on Saturday. The Pacers, man, that Pacers Clipper game was dope. 131-130, Pacers win. The Nets 123-106 over the Hornets. The Cavs beat the Bulls in the first game of a home and home back to back, 103-102. I actually caught a couple of stray DMs from some Bulls fans who didn't like the fact that I continue to say I don't trust the Chicago Bulls. Well, guess what? I still don't trust the Chicago Bulls. Ain't nothing they did screams trust. I'm sorry. Knicks beat Houston 108-88 to right the ship after losing 5 straight. The Mavericks won their 5th game in a row, 126-125 over the Spurs. It took Luka Doncic dropping a 50 points to escape with a win. Grizzlies beat the Pelicans 116-101. The Pistons beat the Timberwolves 116-104. The Sixers on the second to last game of their road trip beat the Thunder 115-96. The Heat beat the Jazz 126-123. On Sunday, only 3 games. Grizzlies Kings 118-108. That I knew that game was over in the first quarter. As Keegan Murray got the ball 4 separate times and didn't even take one dribble to challenge Ja Morant. I even put that out there on a tweet. Wizards 118 over the Bucks 95. Giannis, his knee is getting sore. Chris Middleton isn't right. Drew Holiday's taking a step back offensively. I asked early in the season, a lot of y'all just, was like, is the Bucks championship window closing? That's the question.
Watch the closing doors.
The Nuggets beat the Celtics 123-111. And look, I put the big board MVP out there. I took some flack because people were like, Jason Tatum shouldn't be that low. Jokic could average 40. If Jokic had the usage and volume of Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, or any of these top flight scorers who can take 20 to 25 shots per game, the man would average 40. He put up 30, 12, and 12 on 12 for 14 and 8 for 8 from the line, which means he only took 18 shots. If he had the same offensive standing, if he had the same offensive standing as Joel Embiid, where he's getting to the line 15, 16 times a game and making, 14 for 20, we would be talking about the most dominant player since MJ. Like, that's how good he's been the last 2 years, and that's why he's on top of the big board. Monday, the Knicks, 102-83. They're now on a 2-game win streak. The Suns are 2-7 without Devin Booker. And I tell you what, it ain't looking good without Book. Like, I didn't think they were going to miss Chris Paul as much as people did, but they cannot miss Devin Booker. They are dead without him. 23-11 in the first quarter sealed the win. The Knicks just looked unstoppable. They went on another run in the second. They pushed the halftime lead to like 23. It was never, ever close. It was just bad. Lakers over the Hornets. Father Time was defeated. LeBron with 43. Leaves the Lakers 121-115. They are 5 games out of 500. The Cavaliers beat the Bulls in overtime. DeMar DeRozan dropped 44, but Donovan Mitchell said, hey, here's 71. Hold these. Pacers beat the Raptors. The Raptors, just like the Suns, are in free fall. The Pelicans fall to the Sixers after beating them earlier And I'm telling you now, man, people just don't respect Doc Rivers, but they are 15-5 at home, and they are 7-9 on the road. And right now, other than Brooklyn, I don't think there's a lot of teams that play better at home. The Nets beat the
There is
Spurs.
one, Chris. There is one, Chris.
Yes, I said not many. Right. You heard the qualifier, like there was a qualifier. That's why I said it, because I knew you were going to pop up and want to talk about these Warriors. We'll get you there. The Nets beat the Spurs 139-103. Nets Twitter gushed with love, and then they realized that it was the Spurs. Mavericks beat the Rockets 111-106. I tell you, the Mavericks they're gonna live or die by the 3. And that's just is what it is. They will seemingly beat a team that should be a tough game by 30, and then they'll beat a team they should beat by 40, and then they can't beat the Rockets but by 5 or 6 points. The Timberwolves beat the Nuggets in a trap game, 124-111. Warriors beat those Hawks in double overtime, and I put a tweet out this morning. Who needs Steph Curry when you've got Kevon Looney, ladies and gentlemen? 141. The Trailblazers beat the Pistons 135-106. Jeremy Grant, 36 points. A lot of people aren't going to like it. The dude is lining himself up for a 25 to 28, maybe even $30 million a year contract. And the Heat, who are left for dead, they were left for dead just 10 days ago. Even the great Heat culture propagandist JFK was at a loss for words. They are now 2 games over 500 after beating the Clippers 110-100. Over the course of their turnaround, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, all average 21 points, 21.5 points per game. So they have balanced scoring. All right, there you go. Entirety of your weekend scores. If you're just joining in, appreciate you for coming through. Like and retweet the show card. Happy New Year. We will go first. The 5-level killer, then Jada Wakandan, JFK. We have Jonathan here from Sundays is for Basketball. We're going to get his video up here. And if you are a video creator and you want more eyes on, in the year of 2023, one of the things we'll be doing here is to build the Hoop Spaces YouTube profile. So shout out Justin Patton, who couldn't make it today in. He's feeling under the weather. He's the YouTube coordinator. He's getting his reaction videos up here. He's got Sundays is for Basketball, and he can have you. So if you have 5 to 6 to maybe 8 minutes, we've got a pass for you for content. So make sure you check us out. We'll go first to 5 level. What's up, 5? How you doing?
Yo, happy Richard, everybody. Nat, what's up, sis? Chris, what's going on? Yeah, we streaking still. That's all I gotta say, man. We going to the quad. We running through the dorms, and we just gonna keep doing what we do right now because I don't think we've seen Katie and Kyrie this happy with basketball and this locked in at the same time in 2 years, maybe 3 years. So it's like, and the team is balling. Yuta the shooter, they want a Yuta the shooter. T.J. Warren, 18, and I didn't even think he was going to score 18 yesterday. Jacques Vaughn is very energetic, holding everybody accountable, and making sure they trust each other. The 2 words for this year, accountability and trust. And I'm going to say this right here. Kyrie should be starting an All-Star game. Kyrie is either the first or second best point guard in the NBA right now. If y'all want to say Steph, but he's injured, so I'm gonna say Kyrie. So, like I need y'all to start respecting that kid because he's really that good. I don't think people really respect how good of a shooter, a basketball player, and how ultra uber talented this kid is with the basketball in his hand. Like he's really disrespectful, and it's so beautiful to watch that. It's a beautiful game when the Nets is playing like this. So, like, I just hope they can make it 13 straight on Wednesday, make it 15, make it 14 straight on Friday, and when we're going to see Boston, it's a battle for first place and the best record in the league.
All right. They're scary good.
So
I'm putting a.
They're the best team in the NBA right now. Like right now, over the past 20 games, they are the best team in the NBA. By only thing you might not say is defense, but they still top 5 over that span. But offensively, they are the best team in the NBA, hands down, record-wise and statistics.
Well, if you look up on the big board, you can see that the poll's already up there, 5 level. That's why I started out with you, because I kind of had a feeling you were going to go there. The Nets are the best team in the NBA. Yes, no. Make your vote. Go ahead and retweet that out there. Make sure the people can be heard. Also get the Kyrie starter out there for the All-Star game in a moment. I'll put your name on there so you can get credit for that. Jay, you hear the opening salvo from 5 level talking about Brooklyn being the best team in the NBA. Yes or no? And what are your thoughts over the last 3 days of NBA action? Jay to Wakanda. Appreciate you. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year. Thoughts and prayers to the Bills player. Hope he's recovering. And happy birthday to Cheryl Miller, one of the GOATs. I just realized that she went to USC and Reggie went to UCLA.
You just realized that?
Bro, I was never
Can you
big
kick him
into
out of
Reggie
here?
Miller.
Can you kick him out of here,
I
Chris?
was never big into Reggie Miller. Okay,
Kick him out of
that's
here,
fine.
man.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm in a good mood. SWAC conference play started yesterday. There were a lot of teams lost, but it wasn't my Jackson State Tigers. They beat Alcorn, men and women's. Shout out to Coach Mo Williams, a.k.a. Peanut, and shout out to Coach Tamika Reed. If you know, you know. Nets best team in the NBA? No. They're close. It's splitting fish hairs at this point. But they are the hottest team in the NBA. But no, I can't say they're the best. But they're definitely the hottest team. And the real question is, are they the most potentially explosive team in the NBA? Because when Kyrie and KD get going, they can get going in so many different ways. It can be ISO, it can be pick and roll, it can be dribble handoff. It can be, we're going to just get to the line 20 times tonight because you can't stop us. To me, that's a very interesting conversation because when the shots are falling with the Nets, I kind of like the Mavericks. It just feels like an avalanche. And, of course, the Warriors have to be in that conversation as well. So, that's what's kind of I've been thinking about. And Spider Mitchell dropped 71 of them things. And I watched that game, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I don't understand how Chicago couldn't stop. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, no, there was never a conversation saying, "Hey, let's trap him at half court.
Let's deny him the ball." Like,
that conversation never happened in that huddle.
Never. Like, you've got Alex Caruso and Derrick Jones Jr. Like, they pay these dudes millions of dollars to say, go play defense. Not once, not a single second did Billy Donovan say, hey, you know what? This 6'1" guard just put 60 on us. Maybe I should put my two best individual defenders and say, hey guys, we're gonna play 3-on-4. You two stand next to this guy at all times.
Yeah, because like Darius Garland wasn't available, Mobley wasn't available, and it never crossed Billy Donovan's mind to say, you know what? Look, I want to see if Karis LeVert can beat me. I want to see if C.D. Osman can beat me. I want to see if Robin Lopez and the old man version of Kevin Love can beat me. It was like, nope. We're going to let I'm going to go full Sam Vincent? That was the coach of the Raptors?
Yeah.
Sam Mitchell. Yeah, I'm going to go full Sam Mitchell. I'm stuck in my ways. There's no way the 18th bucket is going to drop. There's no way this 19th bucket is going to drop. There's no way this 20th bucket is going to drop.
Yeah, it was bad. If no one has seen the game, if you didn't watch the game and you only watch the highlights, you're really missing out on Shakespearean levels of tragedy here. Donovan Mitchell played 50 minutes. The dude took 34 shots that were registered and made 22 of them. He was 20 for 25 from the line. So, like, no, they didn't care. And by the way, Karis LeVert was 2 for 13. Gosh.
And here's how you know what NBA guys on a heater, right? It's when the point in the game where the guy has, especially a guard, has the ball, and none of the shooters are clapping their hands and doing the ready open position, right? That's when you know somebody's on a bender.
Yeah, they like the Cavs didn't even care. Like the only player who wanted the ball was Karis LeVert. No lie. Like, go watch the game. Karis LeVert took 13 shots. Jared Allen took 10. 7 of them were putbacks. Kevin Love took 10. That's just because he happened to be wide open. Like, super wide open. All right, we'll go to JFK next. We got Jonathan in the wings. I need to get the Sundays is for basketball tweet up there. If you look up top, you see Nat Fluential in the scrum, as you will, on the front lines, talking with Klay Thompson post-game. So give her a big round of applause and a shout-out for her success and continued growth.
Shout out Nat, man.
Yeah, it's dope, ain't it?
It is, man. And I be wanting to DM her, but, like, I know her mom was going through it earlier. I just wanted to let her know I was thinking and praying about for her mom still.
Yeah, life is life's, man. Life. And if you got family in your life, make sure you reach out and tell them you love them. Speaking for me, like, my mom's anniversary is coming up of her passing. So, like, yeah, life. Make sure you tell the people you love that you love them. It costs you $0 to do that. We'll go to JFK, and then we'll get Jonathan up here. Jonathan Hattie Hart Harris. John, can you do me a favor? Send me your Sundays is for basketball video tweet so I can put it up there. JF, let's talk some Heat. They've turned it around. First, I expect a full-throated apology to Heat culture, and then you can tell us exactly how they're doing it and how it's sustainable. Good morning.
Yes, Chris. We do. A lot of people do owe us an apology, but I probably won't accept it right now, or they probably won't even give it right now. For them, it's probably too early. For me, it seems like we're right on time, Chris. The balanced scoring. Look, we're trying to figure out what we need, and we probably still need another piece. But, a lot of our people are starting to hit shots, and I think one of the most important things, besides our big three averaging 21 points right now, is Victor Oladipo. The man came off for 30 minutes and scored 15 points, and is he showing some defense. Quick side note, Chris, if you like anything cringy, shouts out to Shannon Sharp. He did not show up to work today. And Undisputed is very, very cringy right now. So shouts out to him. But back onto the Heat, Chris. Look, Victor Oladipo, that man is there's not much I can say about him. All right, he went through a traumatizing injury and he came back. We gave him his time. We were patient about it. And for him to be playing like this, Chris, like, look, it's not he right now is showing out better than John Wall. He's showing out better than Reggie last night. And that's saying a lot. I think Spoelstra is starting to be smart now and putting Victor Oladipo in the final couple minutes in the fourth quarter instead of Lowry, just because of defensive presence. But, Chris, there's something that everybody has to admit here today on Hoop Spaces is Bam Adebayo is an all-star right now. If you're not Jokic or Embiid, or I even say Anthony Davis when healthy, there's not that much center. I don't think there's any center that's better than him right now. And if the Heat are making their shots, the man really looks like a rebirth of Sean Kemp. So I'm loving what I'm seeing right now, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give the props where props is due. I didn't expect us to win these last couple games, to be honest with you. I even owe us an apology because I'm trying to figure out what we're doing. And it's nothing but just a couple made shots. As you can see, Tyler Hero took a lot of buzzer beaters before and earlier in the season, didn't make it, but right before the year ended, he made one, so I was happy about that. And we're winning on the road, Chris, and that's very, very important. Like we weren't doing so well at home, and we're starting to fix that, but we've been very, very consistent on winning on the road. I think we're going to be good. I still think we need another piece, but last night, Sean, man, if you really like how everything, let me say something. Whoever that ref is, serves him right. Why are you calling a technical foul on Bam Adebayo if he dunks the ball? Like, that is the most bizarre thing. It's late game. It's crunch time minutes. The man has a putback, and you call a technical foul because he screams? Like, Chris, I need to observe who else screams after a dunk, and all that need to be assessed a technical foul. But at the end, it's hilarious because if you see the ref's face, he looks disappointed when the Heat win. Same thing with the game before. Lauri Markkanen did not get fouled by Hayward Highsmith, and they got 3 free throws. But as soon as you see Tyler Hero shoot that bucket, ain't nothing you can do but just put your hands up for it's good. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Miami Heat right now. We were kind of like this probably about 2 years ago when we started off slow and then we started coming out hot. So I always like the new year of Spoelstra because he always tries to figure things out, and he usually does. So I think we're going to be good still for our 6th spot, and it feels good to be 2 games over 500, Chris.
Yeah, no, they should, especially after looking like you weren't going to be able to score 90 points for like a couple of weeks.
Chris, we lost to Detroit and San Antonio, so there's no reason why anybody can sit here and tell me like there wasn't, questions around our program. But I think we've figured it out. I think Spoelstra, oh man, what a great coach! Like he always finds a way, especially with undrafted free agents. Chris, shout out to Spoelstra because I don't know that much coaches can do that with this roster.
I know one. His name is Doc Rivers.
I don't know about that, Chris.
Oh, yeah, I love how people just love to not admit greatness. It's okay. That's why you people eat grits and like you stay in that lumpiness area over there. I'm over here with like smooth sailing blue skies and lobster for breakfast. That's what I want.
Chris,
That's crazy.
I be eating risotto for dinner. Stop playing with me. We can go toe to toe.
Yeah, risotto is really nothing more than arborio rice and broth. Like, I mean, it's not as fancy as you think it is, bro. It's like it's okay. Yeah.
Wow. Can I ask JFK a question?
Sure, go ahead.
It seems like the Raptors and the Heat can answer each other's roster flaws because the Raptors have too many bigs and the Heat seem like they got too many guards. Do you think if they were to do a trade, is there a piece you would want?
I'm not sure about that. I think I'm good over on the Raptors side.
Okay, because I've been watching the Raptors the last 3 games, and I realize what the issue is. When Nick Nurse goes to his bench, he has nary a shooting guard or a small forward. He either has Malachi Flynn or a power forward. That's it.
Well, he has one, like, because Gary Trent's coming off the bench.
He started last night.
Well, last night.
Gary
But,
Trent start. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Delano Banton is supposed to be there to fill that void, but they put him at the 905 down in the G League, where he like put up like a 30, 11, and 7 game.
You know what, Chris? The reason why I answered no is because if you think about the trade we just made with them for Precious Achiuwa and Kyle Lowry, we won that trade. And to be honest with you, if Precious ain't doing so well, I don't know if there's another big man I can take and give up the value that what we have right now. So.
Well, I wouldn't say you won that trade because many of Heat Denzians just 2 weeks ago and last season were ready to kick Kyle Lowry out of Miami. Like, let's not lie here. And
Chris,
really,
I'm still trying to kick him out, but I'm saying we still won the trade, though.
No, you didn't. It's a push. Like, there's been no win. Precious Achiuwa was hurt. Prior to him being hurt, he was their 7th man, the best big off the bench. Like, what are we doing? It's nasty work, JF.
One of Kyle Lowry's greatest production years, under 18% body fat. He's about as old as dirt, so we gotta give him some credit.
All right, yeah. Last year it was a transition year for Lowry, and he's a human being, and it took him, 14 months to get assimilated to his surroundings. Maybe. Next up. Sundays is for basketball host Jonathan Hattie Hart Harris, ladies and gentlemen. He did an expose of the wonderful defense that Chicago did not play against Donovan Mitchell, putting up 71 points. I urge you to check out the video. You can find it over on Sundays is for basketball, or you could also find it on the Hoop Spaces YouTube channel. Jonathan, good morning. How are you?
Chris, good morning, my friend. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Thanks for the shout out on the video, Chris. I saw, of course, the Hoop Spaces NBA Daily Show, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna tune in today, man. Like, I got a little time to listen. I can't wait to see what's going on in the NBA world. These great NBA minds, and I just wanted to be a listener today, Chris. I really did. And then there was some nasty behavior, some nasty work going on. Number one, let's get started with these guys in Brooklyn, man. Let me tell y'all something. There's a brassy mineral. It's called pyrite, and sometimes people mistake it for gold. So that's where the term fool's gold comes from. And that's the Brooklyn Nets. Like, are you guys out of your damn mind? If we're sitting here thinking that T.J. Warren and Seth Curry are going to be consistent enough for a real NBA Finals run, are y'all crazy? You got Benjamin Simmons, who still can't score in 2023. 4 points. I'm supposed to be scared of Benjamin Simmons. He's scared to play in Philly. He was missing layups. We beat the Brooklyn Nets with our G League team, bro. Are y'all crazy? Y'all really falling for this? Because they went on a little run and KD smiled? So y'all think it's really time to get it? I'm going to let you guys in a little secret right now. And I told y'all this early in the season, and I'm going to warn you guys again. The Brooklyn Nets are frauds. They're the biggest frauds in the NBA. The only two relevant teams in the East right now are the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. You better get it through your thick skulls. You better get it through your thick skulls. You guys keep falling for this crap because Kyrie put a putback dunk up and KD's laughing. Y'all better get it through your heads, man. Go check out Ben Simmons. This guy still can't score. Chris, we can throw you out there and you'll get more than 4 points. Are you guys out of your mind? What's wrong with y'all? And then, Chris, I'm sorry, man, but what are you doing, man? You're caping for Nikola Jokic. Chris, we are Sixers fans. We are Joel Embiid fans, Chris. You're going to sit here and tell these people, these great people, that if Nikola Jokic got the free throws that Embiid got, you want to know why Embiid gets those free throws, people? Because he actually is the most dominant center in the league. If you have a skill set that people can't guard, guess what they do? They foul you. This is not anything. This is not shocking news. When you can't guard somebody, you have to foul him. So, yes, he's going to get free throws. And he's going to probably, if it's not for the chubby man in Dallas, he'll probably end up leading the league in scoring. But that chubby guy in Dallas is doing this thing right now. And the chubby guy in Denver, we all know who I'm talking about. This guy, the offense runs to him. So I don't want to hear if Nikola Jokic was able to put up 30 shots. Nikola Jokic can do whatever he wants in Denver. Y'all know that. I know that. You guys got to stop this, man. You guys got to stop, okay? And I'm going to tell you on the last secret, the last final secret in the NBA this year. Listen, it hurts me to say this because I do believe the Sixers can actually go ahead and make a finals run this year if healthy, if Joel Embiid doesn't get elbowed in the face by the dirtiness in Toronto. But anyway, besides that, the biggest secret in the NBA 2023 is that the Warriors are going to win the finals again. So all this mess, who's the best point guard? I can't even believe Kyrie Irving is even in the discussion. That's disgusting behavior. Come on.
John,
Kyrie Irving?
John.
Chris. Come on, Chris.
You come in here, guns blazing,
going off
about the Sixers and Joel Embiid. And then you become diminutive the moment you say that the Golden State Warriors are going to win the finals.
Chris, I gotta be honest. Chris, I gotta tell the people the truth. You want me to lie to the people? Yeah, I want the Sixers to make. I think the Sixers can get to the finals. And you know what? Joel Embiid is dominant enough that he might be able to actually take down the Warriors. But if we're being honest, people, because we're sitting here talking about Kyrie Irving is the best What are we talking about? Luka Doncic is the only player that can maybe discuss anything with Steph Curry. Besides that, y'all got to stop playing in my face. And Nikola Jokic, you get the ball every play for 23 seconds. You hold the ball, you make a cool pass, and everybody gets tricked into thinking you're the damn MVP. I'm sick of it, man. Joel Embiid is the most dominant center in the league, Chris. Don't let these people be fooled, man. Don't do it, Chris.
Joel Embiid is averaging 33.5 points, 4.5 assists, 10 rebounds, right? So that is 40. We'll give him 44 points accountable for on average. Jokic averages 26 points, 11 boards, 10 assists. So we're going to give him 46 points per game. So he's just slightly ahead of Joel Embiid's production.
And that's with James Harden on his team, by the way. So we're sitting here talking about the production when we know James Harden's going to handle the ball and facilitate. Why are we doing this? This man just shot 40 points last night. Nobody's even talking
James
about
Harden's going to give him easier buckets. Like, what are we doing?
Chris, don't do that. This man is out here doing Kobe fadeaways. He's out here breaking people down like he's a guard. This man dropped 40 points, and not a single soul is even talked about. That's how good this man is. We just take it for granted. It's nasty work, guys. You guys need to go ahead and tune into the 76ers and watch the best center in the league and stop falling for this guy in Denver. It's mess.
There you go. I like it. See, he knows how to end on a high note. Shout out to Jonathan Hattie Hart Harris, leader of Sundays is for Basketball. The video is up there. Make sure you check it out. Shoot him a follow. Nasty work as always, though. I mean, he bigs up Philly and then comes in just like at the end, always like, oh, Golden State. Like this is why I don't. If you want to be a two-team fan, like go ahead, right? Just know and accept the fact that you will be judged. Like, I don't understand how this is difficult for people, right?
Why do I got to be judged for telling the truth, Chris?
It's the NBA. There are 30 teams, and you are a fan of a team, right? That's 1 in 30. That's the premise here. But, like, somehow over the course of the last 20 years, it's okay to have two teams. Like you can't even make the argument like in baseball back in the 80s, like, oh, I got an AL team and an NL team because the AL has the DH. It's two different leagues. Like that was the argument. Like they don't even have that anymore.
I can't even believe you're doing this, Chris. If you guys would just go ahead and click my profile, it says Steph Curry. It doesn't say the Golden State Warriors. Chris, what are you doing, Chris?
You just said the Golden State Warriors are going to win the championship.
When I went to the Warriors-Sixers game last year, I had a Sixers hat on, Chris. Don't do that.
Man, you should be happy I can't go back in time in 5 minutes to replay audio yet. Everybody, give him a round of applause. The man is talented. I see big things for Jonathan here in 2023. Up next, we'll go to Big Fan Breezy for some Nets talk. We'll go to Micah Clark for some Luka Doncic talk. We got Anas up here, another two-team fan. Gosh, this is getting out of hand. And we'll go over and talk some Clippers, too, in a minute. Up next, Big Fan Breezy. What's up, man? Happy New Year.
Yo, Happy New Year, Chris. Happy New Year. Salute the channel. Salute the panel. Listen, man, I see things got out of hand with your guy. Listen, first and foremost, you should be paying homage. If you're not doing anything besides paying homage and honor and respect to the Brooklyn Nets, I got to pull up and let you know that this is a mistake. Why? Because we on a 12-game win streak. The last time we had a 14-game win streak, Jacque Vaughn was a player. We got a 12-game win streak when he's a coach. You think it's a coincidence? I think not. That being said, you got to give credit where credit is due. Doc Rivers, forget your players. Doc Rivers still got something to prove without the Boston Celtics. He still got something to prove. And when we talking about coaches, I guarantee that Jacque Vaughn get Coach of the Month because we were 12-1 in December. That's a record for the Nets. Don't call nothing we doing little It's all big. It's Big Fan Breezy. It's the big Brooklyn Nets. And we doing big things like 12 game win streaks. We respect y'all. I was giving nothing but respect to the 76ers. But now I got 76 reasons why y'all going to get that work when we see y'all. Y'all rivals. Y'all know y'all rivals. So, okay, you play it like that. That's fine. But know this. We doing more than what you saying. When it was 104, Kyrie and KD had 52, and the rest of the team had 52 in last night's game. So don't make it seem like the players that Sean Marks pulled up with in the offseason don't matter. All of them helping us win right now. That's Utah Watanabe, Wasabi Watanabe, or Utah the shooter. Huh? He's like leading the league in 3-point percentage. What we talking about? How dare you talk spicy? Royce O'Neal was leading the league in minutes, and then we had to take him out the rotation because he was playing too many minutes. He setting records with the Brooklyn Nets. Hold it down. He had 11. He had a tip. Everybody talking about a tip back dunk by Kyrie. Yeah, that's nice. But what about Royce O'Neal's tip back winning when we played in Portland? What we talking about? How dare you talk spicy? Like, hold on. Not only did Royce O'Neal, there's 2 plays that Sean Marks got in the offseason, and then there's a third player in Ed Sumner, and he's in the rotation getting busy. Then you talking spicy about TJ. Why? Why talk spicy about TJ? He's got 9 for 13 from the field. Know his role. We know his role. 9 for 13. Bro, what is you talking about? How dare you? I expect an apology. When I go in the chat and I'm just listening like I do as a fan because I love the show, I expect an apology. I don't understand how you could dare speak spicy, not speak with honor about the Brooklyn Nets. Like, I just gave you 4 off-season moves that Sean Marks did that made the team work. And don't talk about Ben Simmons like we need him to do what he was doing in Philly and Brooklyn. That's not what it is. We don't need him to score 20. He could score 2 points and we win a game. What happened? He could score 4 points and we win a game. What happened? Y'all need him to score 16, 20, 22, 40. Ben Simmons never got to score 40 on our team. You serious? We keep him like y'all know what we do, man. We keep him in the dunking spot. He stay there. Kyrie throwing them alley-oops. What is you talking about? Kyrie could go for MVP. KD could go for MVP. Nick Claxton could go for MIP, most improved player, or depoy. He could play all 5 positions. I had this conversation last night.
Wait. Whoa. Man, you were cooking until you said that.
Hold on.
Can he guard all 5 positions or play all 5 positions?
He is not bad.
No. He can guard. He can't play.
There you go.
Guard.
Woo, man. That was scary.
Nah. Guard.
All right. Question. Who's the best rapper out of Brooklyn? Not named Biggie.
Hold on. Just let me land a plane saying this, bro.
Go ahead.
Nick Claxton can be depoy, and I say he could guard all 5 positions, as in, you know what I'm saying? If it's a pick and roll situation, we not vulnerable. You feel me? But you going pass the ball because Nick Claxton is guarding you on a perimeter. That's your best bet. So we never vulnerable on a pick and roll. So he could guard the paint. And he see what he do with blocks. He's slapping. He's like, come on, man. Embiid, like listen. I said name. I want to ask you. I'm asking you, Chris. And I said this. I said name all the 5 centers that you're gonna say that's better than Nick Claxton right now. Don't have better defense than him. They got better offense. So when you name them, and when you think about the center position, rim protected, and what you want your center to do, this is why I got him in the top 5 centers right now. Not top 5 players, but top 5 centers. Yeah, and that's it, man.
All right.
That's it.
Chris, I can name 6.
Who's the best rapper out of Brooklyn not named Biggie?
What, me?
Yeah, you.
Me, man.
You? Wow. Are you Papoose? That's something Papoose would say.
Nah, man. Shout out to Papoose, man. Salute.
Pap would say that. Like, he literally would say that. I love Papoose.
Your man was wilding, man. I had to cook.
He was cooking. Although I will tell you, Nick Claxton ain't top 5. He's close.
Census.
He's close. He's close.
Name them, and I bet you I could debate it.
All right. Well, let Jonathan go first because he wants to reply.
Chris, these Brooklyn Nets fans are absolutely delusional. I've never seen anything like it before. I've never seen anything like it. These guys go on a little win streak after they lost to the Sixers G League team, and they're up here talking big. They're talking about Ben Simmons. Did you guys notice one of the last players he mentioned was Ben Simmons? You want to know why? Because Benjamin Simmons, what I call him, because he doesn't have a jumper, so we take the J out. Benjamin Simmons is one of the most irrelevant NBA players in the NBA right now. This guy's sitting here hiding behind the fact that KD and Kyrie can score. So now it's like, oh, we don't need Benjamin Simmons to score because we got KD. You guys are going to find out in the NBA playoffs, like you did last year, when you got swept out of the first round by a real team, that you're going to need Ben Simmons to step up. You're going to need him to score when the game slows down, and you're going to need some buckets outside of KD and Kyrie when teams game plan for those two. And you got Seth Curry going 1 for 5 in the first round of playoffs when you thought he was going to show up, and then you got T.J. Warren who scores 2 one night, then he scores 15 the next, then he scores 12 one night, then he scores 5. You guys really think you have the consistency on that team to actually make a run? You got to listen. I'll give you credit. You're hype right now. You had a nice little win streak. You guys are going big right
Jonathan.
now.
Worry
Kyrie
about your
Irving.
damn team. Stop looking over here.
No, it's
Damn.
Malika.
Obsessed with Kyrie.
I can't believe she's doing this.
You couldn't let him finish, Malika.
I can't believe Malika is doing this.
With them. You upset?
You can't let Big Fan Breezy finish. He's on your team.
Tell the truth. Malika, tell these people the truth right now. Benjamin Simmons is a fraud. Tell these people the truth. These Brooklyn Nets fans look up to you, Malika, and they actually believe this mess that's going on right now.
You obsessed with us.
Tell them, Malika, who Benjamin Simmons is right now.
Man, here are the 5 that I would put ahead of Nicholas Claxton. Okay, all right, you ready? Because like y'all on one today. I think y'all have a hangover from like 2 days ago. I love it. Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Giannis, Kristaps, Sabonis, Vucevic, Davis, Bam Adebayo, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, all rate higher than Nicholas Claxton in total production. If you want to go just straight defense, you have a better argument for defense. Here are your top 5 in defense: Jaren Jackson Jr., Brook Lopez, Nicholas Claxton, Miles Turner, Anthony Davis. There you go. All right. I
Sabonis too, man. Everybody be sleeping on Sabonis.
Oh, hey, I love Sabonis. I think he's underrated. All right, let Big Fan Breezy finish. Malika got up here. She's ready to go. I don't know what it is my man John does, but like he pushes the buttons right.
He's obsessed
when it comes to these
Brooklyn Nets. I come over here and I tell the truth, Chris, and the people can't handle it.
Listen, I listen to his soliloquies of false narratives about and my thing is, how dare he? I asked him to tread lightly. I asked as a gentleman, as a vlogger, as a Brooklyn Nets fan. I asked, and I wonder why he trails those waters. Like, you know, the "don't go there" sign. Like, it's all there for him. But he looks past all of this and says, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. And this is what happens. It's nothing but a frying pan here. And it's a deep fryer, you're gonna get cooked. It's a rotisserie, you know, the thing like that's what we do. So this is what I'm saying. When it come down to the list that I just heard, shout to my guy Chris, you my guy. But that list, trust me, bro. When it come down to impact on winning, we on the 12-game win streak, and I just kept thinking while you were saying all those names, what kind of win streak are those guys on? And I seen losing streaks in their future, like what in the past. So like what happened? Nick Claxton is helping us win. Without him on our team, we a whole different team. And everyone's saying we need another player because Nick Claxton. We need somebody to like an insurance policy. And before I go, I want to say, when it comes to the big men on our team right now, as of yet, without an addition, I want to give them flowers. Anytime there's something in the air, they slapping it. They get it out of here. KD as well. He getting credit. He got a haircut. He look good. Why he doing it? Listen, Nick Claxton cut his hair. These boys are serious. They don't want to be known for what they look. They look good because they playing good basketball. This is the difference. I think it's just about little. Don't say little and Brooklyn Nets in the same sentence. It's nothing that
All
we
right,
doing.
let me.
That's little.
I got more hands up. I got to get to. We're already
We
here in the
doing
second
it
hour.
big.
I feel you. We're doing it big in Brooklyn. Living in the memory of the greats, right? Like
Facts.
the greats in the Brooklyn Nets history of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Because let's be honest, before them, the greatest Brooklyn Net was Joe Johnson.
Yeah. Now Brooke Lopez, Joe Johnson.
Derod Williams.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in hour 2 of Hoop Spaces. Big ups to Big Breezy, the Brooklyn Nets doing big things in the big year of 2023 bigness.
Facts.
Brandon is down below. Another dope Charlotte Hornets and Brooklyn Nets fan. Also, Nets Kingdom AJ is in the building. Make sure you shoot both of them a follow. You can see Brandon here pre-game, post-game. Conspiracies and Flapaganda. Joel, the Dutch Nets fan, is here. You can catch Brandon also on YouTube with Next Kingdom AJ and Saint from Next Kingdom. Some dope follows. EK Johnson also in the building. We'll be getting him up here. But I'm taking this time now to tell y'all once again, head over to slamgoods.com. They have the Kobe tribute package on sale for $24, right? You can save 15% off of that and your entire purchase at slamgoods.com using promo code HoopSpaces. Tell them I sent you because like they still are like, wow, you had like that? And I'm like, yeah, because we're that good. All right, Breezy, appreciate you. 30 seconds, close out.
Yo, man, it's all good. It's all fun. Shout out to Chris Spaces. I know he a Philly fan and he a rival, so I keep that energy, man. But y'all know what's up, man. Shout out to Nets Kingdom. Shout out to everybody. You know what I mean? Nets fans, we up. Know what I'm saying? Nets fans is the best fans. Peace.
Oh man, I'll give you a point. In part of this back and forth, Jonathan threw out a name. His name was Luka Doncic. He didn't use the name. He called him what did you call him, John?
Well, he's a chubby guy in Dallas, a.k.a. Luka Donut, but he's playing great right now.
There you go. So you've prompted a couple other people who now want to come up and share how you are wrong, how you are incorrect. We'll go to Michael Clark first. We'll give him 60 seconds. We'll go to Jose up there next, leader of 77 Spaces. We'll speak on a Rolo. We've also got EK and Joel up here. We got Anas ready to go. 6 of the 12, Jada Wakanda. So many people want to say thank you. If you're down below, do us the favor. Like and retweet the very first tweet on the big board. We call it the show card. That allows Twitter to know that we are here. And for the future, like that's going to be a bigger thing than what it is now. But understand, it's really the only currency that I can make here on Twitter are likes and retweets and engagement beyond those who've been able to help support Hoop Spaces. If you have an interest in supporting, you can check out the Hoop Spaces merch store. I'll get that tweet up here. Or you can reach out and say, hey, let me drop you a 20 and I'll send you Cash App. Up next, Micah Clark. Micah, go ahead.
First things first. Both them chubby guys have made it to the conference finals. Not saying, just saying. But that being said, look, man, we've had some struggles. Boston's not great, but we're still finding ways to win, you know? Quick way. You know what? Sorry, Chris. I know you're a Philly fan, but I got to do it to you. Let's just speak facts, man. The dudes had Jimmy Butler. Look at all the talent that he's had on that roster, bro. If he's all that, then why is he not able to get past the second round, despite talent on the roster, despite the greatness of Doc Rivers? I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
It's hard to win, bro. Like, what do you want?
It is hard to win. Absolutely. But like, you can't go out here and try to clown these other dudes when they're winning, especially when their roster's not that great, when their coaching's not that great, and they're still finding ways to win. It doesn't matter what player it is. We can respect greatness, man. That's just what it is. And yes, what the Nets are doing right now, all the turmoil that they've went through, is amazing. They're on a great run, and there's nothing wrong with stating that. It's about being a fan of the game and loving great basketball, no matter what player it is. And
Huh?
yeah, just hit me up when Embiid drops 6 or 20 and 10. But hey, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Appreciate you, Micah. Yeah, I got in a discussion over the weekend, centered around the Miami Heat, and specifically, what do they need to do to turn it around? And like the thing is that even Heat fans can lose some historical perspective of Heat teams. Like that's just fandom. But like the Miami Heat have literally been the same team for like the last 4 years, right? And it is a grinded out team. We'll get into that, and they are in position now to grind their way back up to the top. Dallas is in the opposite direction of like the Miami Heat. They are a live all, die all team. Like they are going to either hit their shots or Jason Kidd is a bad coach. Like that's literally the night and day for Dallas. Someone who's been chronicling this every post game or pregame for Dallas Mavericks games. And if not him, his partner Rolo. And if not him, their partner Jazz. Jose. Hey, congratulations. Like a lot of people started writing the Mavs off. They had that burst and then they lost several in a row and then they kind of teetered. It looks like you're getting your footing. What did you see over the weekend and what do you have for the world of the NBA, Jose?
Appreciate you, Chris, for bringing me up. I just want to say the Mavs are on a 7-game winning streak. They're 6 games over 500, and it seems like for the last 3 years in a row, the Mavs don't know how to play basketball until the 30th game of the NBA season. So we hear now. I don't think there's a big significant change in what I had predicted when it comes to the Mavs. Either they a first round exit if they make their shots, or they're a Western Conference appearance team and they lose in the Western Conference. And right now we're just seeing some very great basketball from Luka. I mean, he had a 29-point swing in the second half, uh, starting the game off only having 10 points and then being able to put up 29 in the second half is something that we are revered and relieved for. Because other than that, this team wouldn't be the Rockets yesterday because the Rockets couldn't miss at all. The Rockets had a better shooting percentage from the field, better shooting percentage from 3-point range, and I think they even beat us on the free throw line. I can't remember. But other than that, I mean, Christian Wood also had 21 points with 5 blocks. That's just insane. That's something that I've been really just hoping that he was able to do when he came to Dallas originally. And if he would have started earlier in the season, we probably would have seen this output a lot earlier. And now the Mavericks are once again in a position where they're turning the calendar year over with an expiring contract player who is putting on a show, and they have maybe about a month left to figure out what they want to do with Christian Wood. And I am here on the stage because I don't think I did this for Brunson last year. I am begging and pleading the Mavericks not to fumble Christian Wood. And even though Christian Wood has all the right to go out in free agency and see what he could get out in the open market, it's up to the Mavs to retain him as an asset because what he's able to do, uh, just night in, night out. If he's not scoring efficiently, he's gonna try to show up on the defensive side of the ball, and that's all we need. And then Spencer Dinwiddie being somebody who's shown that he could make shots in clutch, which Luka was easily able to do, is defer to him in the last couple of seconds. And Dinwiddie was able to put us up 109 and 106, and we walked away with a win. I mean, it's all jokes and games right now because the standings aren't set for another couple of months. But as long as the Mavericks stay in the fourth seed, they have home court advantage. They have one of the best players on the team, and then anything goes from there. But I still see it as a simple fact that if the shots ain't falling, they're probably gonna flame out early. If they are, they're gonna go far. So I mean, there's not much parity there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
Bro,
gathered.
Chris, are you playing award show music?
We are gathered here today to sing praise and pray to the basketball gods for the continued play of one Christian Wood. Dallas Mavericks fans, they need a number two. They were told that Christian Wood could do that, and to date, he has been a good release valve for Luka. 18 points, 8 boards, averages on 54 shooting. But ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, if you put him in that starting lineup, you can see production like 30 points on the 12-17 victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. Or maybe you'll get that 26-14 in that overtime loss against the Cleveland Cavaliers. But we know that this prayer to the basketball gods is really about Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban would rather bet on Tim Hardaway Jr. than Christian Wood.
Chris, may I also say, like, what Christian Wood is doing is actually what KP is doing out in Washington, but just on a losing team. I think he's 3 points fewer than what Kristaps is doing over there, but Christian Wood is doing this on a winning team, and that's all we wanted for KP to do and stay healthy. And yet, see how the tables work. Y'all could run with them tags about how KP was being held back by Luka, but Luka is showing you what he's able to do with a competent basketball player. And also, Christian Wood had a quote that Grant Afset had video recorded. I think it was actually Luka. Luka said, I know I'm not easy to play with, but Christian Wood is somebody who could basically take my shit. And Christian Wood even said, I'm happy here. So for all the narratives that nobody wants to play with Luka and that Luka doesn't put his teammates in a position to win, I mean, those two comments, Christian Wood and Luka, that they've been floating around, I mean, it's hard to use that, but that's for people who don't watch Mavs basketball or don't even pay attention to the Mavs and only want to look at Luka in the light of, oh, he's a ball hog and he's gonna get his stats and he's a empty stat player and he can't do this on the winning stage when you had back-to-back series against the Clippers and he was tearing the supposed two best wing players in the NBA, defenders, two-way players, whatever the hell, and he was giving them buckets. But, we can only say, oh, he can't do that on a winning squad. I mean, 50 wins is a winning team, ain't it?
So there's a kerfluffle, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't pay attention to Mavs Twitter, I don't blame you if you're not a Mavs fan because you're not a Mavs fan. But let me tell you, I pay attention to everybody's Twitter. The Dallas Morning News is the paper du jour of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they've had some interesting beat reporters at the Dallas Morning News over the course of the last few years, and one of them decided to hop on Twitter to take a shot at Grant for doing his job better than they ever did. Like, they did the job so poorly that the Dallas Morning News replaced them with somebody else who is just as bad. And I find it very interesting as the majority of Mavs Twitter seemingly is in lockstep unison against these individuals. And I actually enjoy the support that Grant gets because he's doing phenomenal work. So if you are wanting to dive into that, make sure you follow Jose here so you can hop into the next episode of 77 Spaces, the best damn MFFL content here on Twitter. See what I did there? Like, that was perfect. All right. Lots of hands to get to. We're going to go rapid fire. We'll go first to Vaughn. What's up, Vaughn? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Thank you for having me on this. I like to say good morning to everyone except Phoenix Suns and Mavs fans.
Ooh.
Honestly, man, that was blasphemy, especially for homie who just came up, man. It's like you got amnesia, man. What happened to those 2 years straight that we kicked y'all boys off the playoffs? You know what I mean? And then the 1 year that Kawhi Leonard got injured, y'all went to the Western Finals, man. I congratulate you on y'all. You feel me? I give y'all claps, you know what I mean? But you ain't pulled through. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to get that off my chest, you feel me? Because my Mavs, y'all be talking crazy, bro. We got the two best win players. But of course, I give it to the Celtics right now because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are doing their thing. You know what I mean? They're really good. But once Kawhi gets back in, we're gonna be doing work. We're gonna be doing that work. You feel me? And honestly, damn, especially when Mavs fans be talking, dog. Like they forgot like that ass whooping we gave y'all. You feel me? When everybody was saying, oh, all this other stuff, Luka gonna do it. And then what happened? We sent y'all home. And we're gonna do it again if we play y'all again in the playoffs. I hope we play y'all guys. You know what I mean? So anyway, other than that, man, I got some trade offers, bro. I'm trying to get Marcus Morris off my team. Anybody want him? Bro, you feel me? I'm trying to sell this man off. You feel me? I understand. You feel me? Ty Lue's trying to put him on the starting lineup.
I will give you PJ Tucker and Furkman Korkmaz.
I'll take him. You can take Marcus Morris, bro. Bro, I want this man off my team so bad. You know what I'm saying? And I understand you Mavs fans are having little issues with Christian Wood. I hope y'all don't get Christian Wood. I hope he leaves y'all and we take him. You know what I'm saying? And put him on the right team. You feel me? The Clippers. But other than that, it's really frustrating this year. All the rotations. It's really been stressful. I'm trying to stay humble, worry about the playoffs. But when players comes in and out, it does have that issue. We've seen it last night with the Miami Heat. There was somebody that talked about that when Bam did that dunk. Come on, man. That was a tech right there, bro. That was a tech.
You saw.
Yeah, of course I saw.
You saw.
Of course I saw. And they made it seem like the ref was on our side. Bro, they was calling some crappy calls, man. Like, come on, man. It just ruined the whole game. But honestly, I just feel like Marcus Morris ruined the game. Because once Buddy got in the goddamn court, turnovers. And I don't know what we're trying to do with John Wall, but yo, John Wall, I respect you, bro. You was a beast in the Wizards. But yo, do anybody want John Wall, bro? It's just frustrating. But I get it. At the end of the day, it's about playoffs. For us, that's our mindset. That's what Kawhi said in the beginning, because I'm a big Kawhi fan. And it's just the playoff do matters. And it's just right now, hopefully before the trade deadline, we can get some good players.
So I hear you talking a little spicy, right?
No, because I hear Mavs fans talking crazy.
I know, but I'm just saying that there's some spice here. There's some spice here. So I got a question.
Go ahead.
With all this spiciness, to make sure that I don't need to go get some Pepsi AC. How many championships y'all won after beating the Mavs?
Oh, that's how y'all want to do it, right? Hey, my boy got injured. You feel me? Hey, but you can talk though. But look, here's the thing though. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. The best thing I was so happy that the 76ers got Doc Rivers. Good luck with him. You feel me? Good luck with him. He had Lob City. He had Kawhi and PG. and now he has James Harden and Embiid. Good luck in the playoffs. Because when this man does his rotations and all this stuff in the playoffs, when it does really matter, good luck.
Oh, trust me, we're already expending all the luck we're going to get because we're starting PJ Tucker, and yet we're still 22-14. Like you cannot deny the greatness that is Doc. He's winning 4-on-5.
Bro, we
4-on-5. He's winning with PJ Tucker. You know how many points PJ Tucker is averaging?
Yeah, I see the stat line.
Yeah. He's winning games 4-on-5. Like, get out of here. I feel you. Shout out to you, Vaughn. I appreciate that.
Chris,
but I say
may
one
I
last thing.
counter?
Update, man. Have a good one, guys.
You too, Vaughn. We'll go to Jose so he can reply because that's how we do it. Everybody gets the voice and the chance to reply. We got JF 6-12, EK and Nas on the way. Shout outs down below. We've got Grindhouse Grizz in the building and the great, fantastic Jabari Davis, the Jab Step Pod. Also hosting shows on Playback. Make sure you check him out. Shoot him a follow. Great basketball talk. I was on the Sixers game that he was covering, and we're going through a different amount of games. And we talked the whole game, and like a lot of people, that you have a feeling about Doc Rivers, and I totally get it. Let me put it in a different perspective before I get to Jose. Nate McMillan is entering his 19th year as a head coach in the NBA, and he has not accomplished what Doc Rivers has done, right? Like, that's how good these coaches are. It's hard to have that long of a career and not be good. That's all I'm saying. All right, Jose, go ahead, reply. We'll hit up EK and Anas, and then 6-12, Jada Wakanda, Malika Walker. Bounce back to JFK. We got Joel, the Nuts fan. Like, man, it's a lot going on. A lot. Appreciate it. Jose, go ahead.
Quickly, so who knew the Phoenix Suns' downfall would be a preseason loss to the G League team or whatever the case was?
The Adelaide team.
Yeah, the Adelaide team. Who knew their downfall would start there? But what I had said wasn't ridiculous. I mean, what Luka did against the Clippers was phenomenal. I mean, we just needed more players to step up, and that's why I still here stand and say if no other players on the team are going to help them out in the playoffs, they're either a first round exit or a Western Conference playoffs appearance team. The threes matter for the Mavericks. They matter more than ever. So what I said was not ridiculous. Luka absolutely put it on the Clippers. Do we forget the 48-13-10? Do we forget the buzzer beater in game 6 or game 5, whatever the case was? No. All I'm saying is the Mavericks need more. They need more players to step up. Either that's a trade piece, either that's they go out and get somebody in the off season. But I would love to play the Clippers in the playoffs again. I would love that because I think that's the speed bump right now. I think when you have two wing defenders like Kawhi and Paul George, I want to see that against Luka. I mean, but I just want my team to do well and get some better talent, and also just from an overall organizational standpoint, be better at asset management. But what I said was not blasphemous.
But can we both agree that we both hate the Phoenix Suns, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we shake hands on it. See that? That's love. That's love. Because Phoenix Suns lose, my day's happy.
All right. Next poll question that's up on the big board. Who wins this playoff matchup? Mavs versus Clippers. Vote and retweet. Next up, we're going to go lightning. Everybody's going to get 60 seconds to 90 seconds. EK, you're up next. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Chris. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, we got you. Welcome back. Hope you had a good vacation.
Man, it was amazing, brother. I just got a couple of things I want to get off real fast. First off, shout out to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights and men's team. They beat Purdue 65-64 to give Purdue their first loss on the season. Paul Mulcahy, one of the more underrated guards in college basketball, had 16, 8 6 last night. And then I got to give a shout out to Zaya Cook, seeing senior guard for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Dropped a 30 ball against Georgia last night as well to keep South Carolina undefeated, and also atop the NCAA college standings. But in terms of everything I sort of saw while I was away, on vacation in the NBA, the one thing that really stands out to me is what I was talking about early in the season in regards to the Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant, how I felt like he was at the peak of his powers right now, and what you're seeing from the Brooklyn Nets is seeing not only him but Kyrie Irving and a lot of those ancillary pieces like Utah and Royce and Nick Claxton come together to string together a lot of quality wins. And this is really, really going to vault them up, even if they do have sort of a down trend, maybe in January, February. It's going to vault them up towards the top of the East, where they'll be able to stay at the top of the East until the playoffs come, and then we'll see what they'll be able to do. And also in terms of Luka, I'm going to say it. I've been saying it. Luka right now is reminiscent of where LeBron was early in his career, where there really isn't a lot around him, and the team really rides on him. I think Luka right now, overall, is probably the best player in the NBA because not only of his skill set, but of what he has to do on a nightly basis. The fact that a guy like Steph Curry can be out, but you got a guy like Klay Thompson who dropped 54, right, in a win, last night. If Luka leaves, there's nobody who's dropping 50 on a high school team on that team currently, right? So I think when we talk about Luka, when we talk about what he can do, what he can't do, we have to keep in mind the fact that he doesn't have the requisite pieces that these other guys have around him. But it's good to be back on U.S. soil. Good morning to everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday.
All right, appreciate it, EK. Glad that you're back and safe. And I saw some of the pictures and video. I don't do beaches. I don't do beaches. All y'all that go on vacation on the beaches, I just look at you and be like, why? I'm not gonna lie. Something
Amazing,
about
bro. The views and the vibes, brother. And believe me, I had something cold in my hand too. So it wasn't just about the beach.
Well, I feel you on that because, to go to the beach, you kind of need it. Like, going to the beach is like ordering French fries. Like, it's just like, it's a beach, it's sand. Like, okay. There you go. Yeah, people are not liking that. We'll go. Like, what do you want? It's the truth. It's sand. You never seen sand before? Like, 6 of the 12, hop in here, 90 seconds.
Hey Chris, I can somewhat agree to the beach thing. I lived in the Virgin Islands for 2 years doing work out there. I'd rather being in the pool than the sand. Sand getting in your swimming trunks, it doesn't really feel good if you don't get it out quick enough.
We lost him. Man. That's that Verizon for you.
Has been absolutely nasty work from comparing Bam Adebayo to Sean Kemp to the Brooklyn Nets finally showing up in your spaces besides Malika. It's been some nasty work, but yeah, man, it's a great day. That's all. But yeah, beaches are fine. Right. It's just the pool's better.
Yeah, I mean, question to the people who do go to beaches, like, y'all do realize what y'all swimming in, right? Just asking.
But I rather swim in a beach than swim in these lakes. I'm in the Midwest region, and the lakes are disgusting.
Well, that's because they're lakes, and lakes are like, all a lake is a smaller ocean. Like, if you think a lake is bad, imagine seeing what's on. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's disgusting.
Hey, Chris, that's the thing. That's the unknown of the water because we still don't know. I think it's 90-something% of what's actually in the ocean.
Oh, there's the undiscovered country for the next 250 years will likely still be the ocean. But we're now actually at a precipice in science where space exploration and science is about to take a huge leap forward. And we kind of need that to happen because we won't be able to finish mapping out the ocean without the success from NASA, SpaceX, and a couple other organizations. So, yeah, we don't know, I would say, 91% of what's down there. Although we can safely assume like there aren't any like living giant megalodons. Like, there you go, your science and nerd segment. Everybody got super quiet because they're like, I don't want to say anything.
No, I'm just trying to figure out, is it the beach itself, then you go in the water, or you talk about way out in the ocean? Now, you talk about way out in the ocean.
Any human being going out on the ocean is literally risking the wrath of God at any time. Like, I don't do that. Like, yeah, not happening, bro. Like, rogue waves are real. Icebergs happen. Sharks eat people. I'm good. Never has that happened at a pool. Ever.
Yeah, but in the pool, you got to deal with somebody pissing in it.
No, you don't. They got this cool thing now if that happens, the color changes on you, kick them out, and the pool closes for 20 minutes as they recycle it. Jay, hop up in here. Good morning.
Good morning. Wild. Cows kill more people every year than sharks.
Bro, I'm with you.
Jaws did a number on people's psyche. Sharks you're fine, okay? You're fine.
Yeah, tell that to the 56-year-old woman who went missing, and her husband got back to shore okay.
Hey, man, listen, things happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying if someone offers you a chance to boat across a river with a herd of hippopotamuses or hippopotami, I don't know which, or swim in the ocean with a shark, take the shark.
Well, see, no, because although hippopotamuses, or muses, that's the plural, are actually more dangerous than any animal on the planet to human beings, the ocean is more dangerous than the hippopotamus. Like, you're just saying shark. I'm saying sharks live in the ocean. It's the ocean. That's the issue here.
Well, if you're going to move the goalposts like that, fine. I thought we were talking animals. But anyway, I wanted to do a palate cleanse. I wanted to ask the room, what do we think Steve Clifford is going to do with Wembanyama next year?
Nothing.
You don't think he makes it?
I don't think he's the coach.
Who do you think they get?
To be honest, it depends on Kupchak. I think he's gone.
He kind of has to be, unless he told MJ this is the plan.
Well, even with that plan would include a fallout scapegoat so that MJ takes the least amount of criticism as possible. Like, I don't think, other than maybe Tiger Woods, there's been a more self-indulgent, egotistical sports figure beyond Michael Jordan. And
better leave my goat alone.
Oh, come on! Just do me the favor and watch the Hall of Fame speech.
We're not talking about. We talking about him as an owner. I'm going to chill then. I'll keep the player part separate. That's a whole other argument.
His ego is very healthy. Let's put it that way. Can we say that?
Oh yes, we can say that.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's ego is very healthy, and in order to maintain that healthiness, he avoids negative interaction, and I think what happened with from the Miles Bridges incident all the way through there's still a current incident, LaMelo's unhappiness, like, he's fed up, but he can't do anything because if he does something, it makes him look like he's at fault, and he just doesn't want to look like he's at fault. So if you wait until the offseason and say, oh, geez, Mitch, like, you really screwed the pooch on this one, kick him out, it deflects the blame from MJ to Kupchak, and then here we go with another rebuilding process.
Hornets fans hate MJ with a passion and want.
Well, I know, but the league doesn't. Like, MJ could care less. He wants,
and he's made a ton of money off of the Hornets. Financially, it hasn't been a disappointment for him. So he hasn't lost any money. He's only increased. Yeah, that's a whole nother subject.
Because because we talk about Johnny Davis not playing, but we don't talk about Mark Williams not playing when
he
you
is playing
had
though.
Duren.
He wasn't ready at the beginning of the season. I was trying to explain this yesterday. He wasn't ready.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
wasn't.
bit more ready now, and centers are not automatically going to play like that. JT Thor and Kai Jones were projects, which I don't think they should have went with projects, but okay, they were projects. They weren't going to start. So those are the other two, and Jalen McDaniels is actually been getting better with play. By next year, he's going to be where he needs to be, but he's better this year.
I noticed you left out James Bouknight.
But James Bouknight was a miss. I think he's a bust.
Oh, I don't think he's a bust. I don't think he's a professional player. I've seen him.
Stayed in college to me.
Yes.
You saying James Bouknight would be a great Harlem Globetrotter, Chris?
Overseas,
bro. I look. I don't know if he has the discipline to be on the Harlem Globetrotters.
That's what it is. His discipline. And if you look at his body language, like James Bouknight should have stayed in college. But these kids want to come out, but they should stay in college at least another year. There's a few people that should have stayed in college. He's one of them.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take an impromptu break to play some trivia here. Name that draft pick. Charlotte Hornet style.
I am not participating, Chris.
You don't have to. Kemba Walker was drafted in 2011. Until LaMelo Ball was drafted, he was the most notable draft pick. He was drafted in the 9th selection, had a great career in Charlotte. Did you know that Tobias Harris was also drafted by the Charlotte Hornets in the same draft, then traded to Milwaukee, 19th overall? Who was the 2012 Charlotte Hornet draft pick?
Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
First round. Bingo. Point to Anas. Who was the 2013 pick? Number 4 in the draft. Indiana University. Still in the league.
No, Noah Vonleh. No.
Cody Zeller. Noah Vonleh was 2014, followed by Shabazz Napier. How about 2015? Anybody? Frank Kaminsky. Where am I going with this, you're wondering?
Don't do Frank the Tank like that. That's disrespect.
Charlotte's horrible in the first round.
How about the fact that they drafted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and then traded into the Los Angeles Clippers?
That's the worst trade. That's the worst trade for Charlotte outside of Kobe. Like the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Gilgeous, not don't make him a Gilchrist. He might not like that. MKG had a rough time in this league. All right, so
you know what I meant, Chris. Yeah.
I know what you meant. So they never actually built after Kemba, and they had pick after pick after pick after pick, and they failed at all of them. Dwight Powell, Shabazz Napier had better careers outside because they were traded on draft night. Like, if you look at that, the entire draft for Charlotte until 2019, none of the players ever were on the Charlotte Hornets, except for Malik Monk.
Didn't they have Tobias Harris too? They drafted Tobias Harris, right?
They drafted. Well, he didn't play for them. And Miles Bridges was a trade. That was the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade.
It was.
Yeah.
Miles is actually, outside of his outside, he was coming along, and he'll be back unfortunately, he'll be back next season. And I think he's going to be a piece that they need after about 25, 30 games.
So you had Malik Monk was the only player between 2012 and 2017 that played for
Malik,
that.
I will say this. You're right to criticize, but I will say about Malik Monk. Malik Monk needed to get out of Charlotte because he had habits and all kinds of things going on in Charlotte. He wasn't exactly this innocent player that wasn't getting time. He wasn't exactly disciplined or a professional, really. Like, but him leaving was the best thing for him because he looks like and Kupchak was like, he is the best athlete. He is the best player. Like, he's always said that about um Malik Monk, but he is so much better outside of Charlotte, and thriving is better for him. But he was not that same mentality when he was in Charlotte. So it's, yeah, I will say that. But
Mark Williams though looks really good. Small sample size, 8 minutes, 8 games played. Sorry, 98 minutes.
he
We can
does.
we
And
can
Nick Richards is going to be a good backup. I mean, I think Mark is going to be the starter though.
we can compare him to Jalen Duren, who the Hornets drafted and then traded to New York, who subsequently traded him to Detroit. And a lot of people are high on Jalen Duren. In 24 minutes per game, he's averaging 7 points, 8 boards, and assists.
He's going to be awesome. Yeah, he's yeah.
In 12 minutes per game, Mark Williams is averaging 7, 6, and a block. Like, Mark Williams is going to be fine. The question is will Charlotte ruin him? And right now, the answer is yes. We'll go to Malika for her thoughts. We'll go to Anas after Malika, then JFK. We'll get a reset, head into the third hour, ladies and gentlemen. Hoop Spaces in 15 minutes. Malika, go ahead.
I wasn't coming up here to talk about Charlotte. I think this year is a wasted year. And until they do something, like actually win a playoff series, make it to the playoffs, and win a playoff series, they deserve the criticism. I'm a Michael Jordan fan as the GOAT, but
My bad. I was trying to get a hand up, and then they put their hand down as soon as I hit it. Go ahead,
what
Malika.
happened? Was I talking? Did
Yeah, I was trying to bring
Okay.
somebody who had their hand up, Malaya, and then she put her hand down, and then I had hit the button and then muted everybody.
I just think that until they do something, it is what it is. I mean, the Nets are, my team. So we'll see what happens with them too. And let me just say this: I understand the criticism. Until the Nets win something, like make it to at least to the Eastern Conference Finals, and actually do something, I get it. Like I get the criticism, and it's warranted until they do something. I've been a Nets fan a long time, and like I'm taking it a game at a time. Like, I love what we're on, but eventually, we're gonna lose a game. How are we gonna respond to that? You know what I mean? Like, I love my team, but we'll see how far they go this season. There's a bunch of good teams, but the Clippers. I am not watching the Clippers game. I agree with JP, the truth teller, when he said until the Clippers are playing their top lineups consistently, their number one lineup consistently, I am not watching the Clippers. That was the team I was excited to watch out in the West. I absolutely knew the Warriors were going to be pretty decent to good, and they were going to be in the playoffs. And they leaving them hanging around in the West. Now look at them; they're on a winning streak, and before you know it, they're going to be back in that top three, and then they'll be number one in the West.
Insufferable.
Like, it is what it is. The Warriors. I mean, Steph is not even playing right now. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be the top in the West again.
You know what's funny is Steph isn't playing, but we don't hear the same back and forth that people were giving Memphis when Ja was out.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Memphis have become the West Coast hated team because of all the gritty and whatever, and the bragging and whatever. I like Memphis. I like their spunk. But of course, you had the Pelicans, you had the Clippers. But the Clippers, I know Kawhi. I'm a Kawhi fan. I know Kawhi doesn't care really about the regular season. That sucks. I have tickets to see the Clippers when they come to the Barclays to play the Nets. I don't know, like, should I even go to the game? Like, should I sell my ticket? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, that's where I'm at with it. Like, so that's all I wanted to say. I really wanted to see the Clippers like compete. After they went through what they went through with Sterling, getting Ballmer, he put so much money into that team, building a new arena, doing all of this. Give them what the hell is going on, Clippers? And we'll see what happens in the second half. If they're a team that's saving their bodies and doing what they need to do so they can make this run in the second half and click at the right time. If that's the play, I don't know what they're doing, but it's really getting tired. Like you see the Clippers, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, they roll out that lineup, and it's tiring. Um,
I'm with
that's
you.
all.
Similar to Ben Simmons when I was saying give Ben Simmons 35 in the next 35 games. I didn't think the Clippers would really start playing their better lineup until John Wall was inserted in the starting lineup, and he just hasn't been able to overtake Reggie Jackson. And I don't know if that is a practice thing, if that's still a
Is he a
game.
backup now?
Well, yeah. Well, part of it is offensive design because the offense they're running is a wing-led offense with PG and Kawhi, so they need the ball in their hand. Rjax is a dude who does not fear shooting. He will shoot and shoot and shoot, whereas Wall was more of a facilitator, and his shooting has actually improved vastly since before he came into the league. But he's still not a catch and shoot player. He's a very much rhythm three. And they need him to be catch and shoot. So Rjax has been getting the majority of the starts. I thought there was going to be a time where it just made too much sense for Ty to have to start John, and it just hasn't happened yet. And yeah,
Can I say something?
I think they're limited. Yeah, go ahead. I'll give yourself 30 seconds.
I agree with you, Malika. You feel me? It's very frustrating, but I think what Ty Lue is trying to do with these rotations is because I try to think about it, I think he's also trying to get these guys minutes so some of these guys can be traded. If you notice how, because Norman Powell has been really great coming off the bench. Because when he was on the starting role, I remember it was just a lot of, I was around the Clipper Twitter and everything. I was like, Norman Powell is trash, but I was like, let's give him a chance. And then he went to the bench role. You see something similar to what the Lakers are doing when they did with Russ. Take Russ off the starting role and put him in the bench role, and he started to be really good. But the issue is now becoming where Marcus Morris minutes and John Wall minutes is affecting Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard is a sniper, catch and shoot player. He should be getting a lot more minutes, especially Terrence Manns. I think what Ty Lue and what he has to do and figure out is that we need to know exactly who our starting lineup is going to be and who's going to be the bench role and how many minutes. And especially with Rocco just sitting there, I don't even know what he's even doing with that. So it really is frustrating. And I've been trying to watch this game from here to the end
All
of the
right.
season. So we're going to see what's up.
I can tell you exactly what's wrong with Robert Covington. He's not a 6'9", 225-pound multiple forward. He's 6'7". He's 32 years old.
But the last game he had, that man scored like what? Didn't he score a career high? 45 points. He had 11 threes.
Nah, the last game he had 9 minutes and scored 2.
No, I'm talking about the biggest game. Yeah, the last game he only came in for 3 minutes, or it was a little bit of minutes. But I'm talking about his last highlight game. I forgot who it was. I think it was with Detroit Pistons. Don't quote me on that. I just have to look back on that. But he was actually pretty good. I just don't know why.
That was last season.
No, that's what I'm saying. He was doing
it's done. It's done. It's done. It's over.
$12 million for 2 years. It's hurting my soul, man.
Well, hey, you want PJ Tucker?
I'll take PJ Tucker.
Go ahead, take PJ Tucker. I'll take Marcus Morris. Like, the real problem with the Clippers isn't really Kawhi or PG either. It's the fact that they got Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington as their backups at the forward and the center position. Like, they got zero usable depth, and then when Zubac goes out, they get out rebounded and they have to shoot perfectly, and they can't shoot perfectly, and they struggle. That's really all it is. The games they win, to me, are more fluky than anything. Like, I don't trust them. I really don't. I got to get the other hands in. Anas has been waiting for over an hour. He's next. Anas, thank you for your patience. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris. Happy to hear everyone. Man, last night was just a crazy night around the league. just from top to bottom, lots of games, and I could talk so much about every game, and so many marquee performances just throughout. Donovan Mitchell, LeBron, Clay, DeMar, Embiid, a bunch of 30-point games. So, I mean, I'm just gonna start talking about my Heat. And yeah, we've climbed up, surely, slowly but surely. We've been grinding it out. We've been trying to, I guess, Spoelstra has been figuring out the rotations a bit more. But, nothing's really convincing as of yet. Nothing to really apologize for about the criticism that we've had as Heat Nation for the first half of the season. But and even if we keep on rising, climbing up the standings, I don't see as currently constructed a way to, go into that top 5 in the East, because the top 5 is looking scary. I mean, I don't know. There's starting to become a separation from the top 5 in the East and everyone else, and that's like the Celtics, Bucks, Nets, Sixers, and Cavs. So,
Oh, you left out the Pacers.
no, the Pacers are number 6 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Freaky.
yeah, we can be number 6, but I don't see ourselves going up to 5. Like right now, 6, 7, 8, they're sort of interchanging. So it's just another disappointing season. After it's too early. We could make moves. We'll see what happens. The role players are stepping up more. The rotations are being figured out. Victor Oladipo's balling out. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But still nothing convincing as of yet to go up to the standings and
All
have
right.
a season like last year.
Well, let me ask you 2 questions. The first is, what are you more afraid of? Shout out to Jay the Wakandan. Sharks or cows?
Oh man, that's why I was stumbling in the beginning, because I wanted to say something. Sharks kill like 5 people a year. Cows kill like 20 people a year. So cows for sure.
Breaking news: Kelly Oubre Jr. out for surgery. Just breaking now by Shams. That sucks for Charlotte.
What does that have to
And
do
that
with the
sucks.
Sharks or cows question?
Oh, nothing. I'll get there. It happened. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, y'all. So he'll be back in time for the trade deadline. Anas, since you are bringing to light cows versus sharks, are the Miami Heat cows or sharks?
I think
You are being judged, by the way, by the purveyor of Heat culture up here on the stage, who will follow you, JFK.
I think I don't know, man. I need to call in JFK, man. This is a tough one.
JFK, he's phoning a friend. The question is now to you, and you will be summarily judged by those up here as Anas is deferred, which is his right as the first caller. JF, are the Miami Heat cows or sharks? Go ahead.
Chris, and we are cows because a lot of people don't look at us as dangerous, but at the end of the day, we are dangerous, Chris. Like, we got to understand, and especially as Heat fans, we can't be so down on our team. Look, we cooking with some bad grease, okay? I'm talking about undrafted free agents. And to be honest with you, Max Strus has came back to life, everybody. Like, he is definitely showing out when the crunch time happens. And it's to the point where we're making Clippers fans think different about their season and about their team. So that makes you, Anaz, a Heat fan. You should not think different about your team. You should understand this is your team. This has been our team for the last 4 years. We have been horrifically bad in the third quarter, and then sometimes we usually find a way to come back. Sometimes we lose a lot of games, just like Spoelstra did with the team we had with James Johnson at the helm, and then we came back and won a couple games just short of the playoffs. So you got to understand, look, we might not look too good, but at the end of the day, we are going to compete. And to the Clippers fan, look, this is how bad you are. You're asking for PJ Tucker, 0 points a game. PJ Tucker, you want him to make a shoe store in LA? There's too many shoe stores in LA. That is going to be cluttered over there. But Chris, Like I said, we're beating these teams, and to be honest, I kind of like when people call us garbage or whatnot, because when we beat them, man, they start shutting down. They start becoming friends with other fan bases, becoming two-team fan bases after us. Like they gotta look somewhere else. But you know what, Chris and Anas, if you're a Heat fan, bro, you just gotta stand with the Heat. Look, make sure our guys are working. And to be honest with you, we haven't seen a Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler Hero averaging 21 points a game, all three of them at the same time. So let's see where this takes us, and let's just hope that Victor comes back. Well, he is already back. Let's just hope Victor stays consistent and Max Drew stays consistent. Keys to the game, Chris.
Can I
All right,
respond to
appreciate
that
it.
just quickly?
Yeah, go ahead. 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely the ascendance of Bam is something. It's more like we expected an ascendance, but it's more than even what I expected. So, I'm loving it every game, every coming game. What did I want to say? Damn, I forgot. But whatever. I mean, I
Oh,
Anas,
appreciate
remember?
but
how you going? Just like I forgot, and then like not expect anything. Like,
my
don't
bad,
do
man,
that.
my
It's
bad.
bad.
Anas,
You're
I
good.
want you to go back on YouTube and watch clips of when we had Deion Waiters and Hassan
Bro,
Whiteside.
I
You'll
know
be
those
grateful for
days,
the
and
season.
I love those days. I love those days. Those are the vibe was amazing.
You love those
I'll say
days.
this: I'm really
All right,
glad we're not overpaying for PJ. We didn't bite into that.
you couldn't even afford to. Here
Damn,
are
you calling us
some.
broke, Chris? I see you.
Hey, here are some other reasons why beaches are bad. Rip currents, not cool. Like, do y'all know what a rip current actually is? Like, that is just not something you want to experience. Wading out there and then all of a sudden being drug underwater and then, yanked 100 yards away from shore. Not cool. Definitely not cool. Dehydration, also very bad at the beach. People don't realize that they don't drink water.
Yeah, the other
It's not
place,
cool.
it's not called a rip tide in a river, but the Mississippi River has that same issue. So if anybody bets you to swim across the Mississippi River, especially from Memphis, don't do it. You'll die.
Yeah, you shouldn't be trying to swim across the Mississippi River anyway. And they get undertows.
Yeah, that's what it's called in the river, is undertow, but it's the same principle.
Yeah. Yes. We'll go to Malaya for our closeout of the second hour. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are down below and you want to come on up, like and retweet the show card in the big board. It's the first tweet. Shoot us a follow. We're here getting ready to hop back into basketball after whatever Malaya has here for us. And then we'll also talk about the games coming up tonight and have a good time. Malaya, what do you got?
I just wanted to also about the shark thing. Sharks are scary, and then the other animal you had said earlier, I'm more in fear of a shark and then also like an alligator, because have you heard of an alligator eating a horse before? And that's pretty crazy. And snakes do scare me as well, and also little animals. But other than that, yeah, well, I wanted to say, yeah, I'm good. You can
All right.
send me down.
Appreciate it. By the way, mosquitoes are more dangerous than any of these animals we've ever talked about today. Just letting y'all know.
I forgot, Chris, real quick.
Yeah.
I love the beach, and it's not really to go in. The funny thing is, only time I really go in the water with the beach is when I'm on a boat or of some kind. But it's peaceful to me to look out at the beach, and just that whole scenery just brings peace to me. Like, I need to go to a beach at least once a year. For me, that's what it's for. And it's, so I'm listening to you, and you're just like for the beach. It's like it doesn't bring you peace at all. Looking out at the water at the.
No, because the only thing that's out there is death. Like there is nothing out there for us as human beings. Like we have to create artificial constructs to even go out there. Right? Like it's wild that people go out on cruises to me.
Yeah, I'm a
Absolutely
cruiser.
wild.
I'm a cruiser, and I will be on one again, but not for another 2 years. I haven't done one yet, but yeah, man, I love it. But
So
to each his own. To each his
So
own.
like do you understand like how water displacement affects tides, right? Like the way tides are made by gravity, which essentially displace water underneath, creating energy, which then is cycled up, which pushes water forward. Like that's the basic explanation of waves, right? Like there are waves out in the ocean that are 3 times the height of a cruise ship. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. And I'm not even talking about rogue waves. Those are completely different. We'll say what's up to Akil. Akil, good morning.
What's up, man? How's everybody doing? Happy New Year. In this sharks versus cows debate, what am I more scared of? Sharks by miles. Give me easy 4-0 sweep from sharks compared to cows. Not really close. Like, I don't know how that even is a conversation. And
Oh, you got see, wait, let me do this. He doesn't know, and if you are just joining and you don't know, head over to YouTube, head over to Hoops Faces YouTube. You can catch the show unedited, and you'll find out the entire context behind the conversation. Cows versus sharks.
okay,
Thank you.
okay. So there's actual content. Okay, for sure. But I don't know if you've seen this, Chris, at all. But the animal I'm probably the most scared of, hippos. Those those things are crazy. If anybody has time today, go on the YouTube, type in hippo chasing boat, and to see,
not cool.
Yeah, to see that animal that big, like move that fast, that is scary stuff.
They bite humans in half, by the way.
Yeah, that's just that's they're gross. I don't get it. On top of that, man, we had some fun basketball yesterday, man. Clay dropped 50. Spida dropped a nice little 70 on the Chicago Bulls. Man, Joel Embiid had 40, right? 45, I think. People were getting up their numbers. That is for sure. But yeah, give me sharks.
Here is another animal that you should be worried about: the cone snail. The cone snail kills about 40 people per year, and y'all never heard of it until today. We'll go to Joel, the Nets fan. We'll get his thoughts on Kyrie Irving, an all-star starter, and are the Nets the best team in the league. We'll hit up Joe after that. We'll get a good reset, talk about some more basketball, but more importantly, the games coming up today. We're going to start talking about the Warriors as well, because like I tried to tell the Western Conference, you got to kick them while they're down. That's the only way you can beat a championship squad, is you kick them while they're down. When the Nets were down, the East should have, well, I almost cursed, should have beat them down even more, but instead they allowed the greatness of Kevin Durant to keep them at around 500, and now look at the East. Even Boston is shaking. Like they see the Nets in their rearview mirror, and I think we'll start seeing the Golden State Warriors on the West into the same type of pattern here. We'll go to Joel. Joel, thank you for coming in. Good afternoon, good evening. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Chris. And before I get started, I want to ask you for some advice because so I turned 40 in November. My wife turned 30 on January 1st. We're throwing a big party in a couple of weeks. And I'm debating to either, because it's an 80s and 90s party, to either go as Michael Jackson the way on the trailer cover with the white suit and the black shirt, or go as Biggie. FYI, I'm a big guy, so Biggie might fit better. But what do you think?
Okay. You can do the Weird Al Yankovic Eat It and pay homage to Michael, but the better artist. And yes, I just said Weird Al Yankovic is better than Michael Jackson.
Okay, I'm not going to touch that. Okay. Not at all.
But yeah, if you're a big guy, go with Biggie. If you are wanting to do an 80s and 90s, she should be the 80s Michael, and you can be 90s Biggie, or she could be 80s Michael, and you can be 80s Aretha. Like who knows? There's way you could do Stevie Wonder. She could be Michael. Like Stevie was big too. Like I'm a big dude. There you go. Do Stevie Wonder, or I'm trying to think. Do the Blues Travelers. They was big in the 90s, I think. So there you go. You can go a lot of different places.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Chris. You give me something to think about. So I was a bit perturbed that I come on this space and I hear Nets slander. While we're literally the hottest team in the league at the moment, we're one game behind the Celtics, and we're playing good basketball. And what annoys me is, the goalpost keeps moving, right? Like first we were trash, then we were 500, and then we were just beating bad teams, right? No, actually, first we were losing to bad teams. That's how it started. Then we finally started beating teams we're supposed to beat, and then they were like, yeah, but you didn't beat anyone good. Then we beat the Bucks and the Cavaliers, and I thought, like, okay, now we're going to get some respect, but still we weren't getting respect. And now that we're on a 12-game win streak, we're close to, the 14-game win streak that we had when we went to the finals. Just before I became a Nets fan, I wasn't a fan during the 2 final seasons, unfortunately. And now we still don't get the respect we deserve. And people slander us. Yeah, it's a little 12-game win streak, I heard someone say, and shit like that. I just don't understand. Like, you got to respect, good basketball. Like, a lot of Nets fans hate the Bucks. I don't. But, when the Bucks are playing well, the Bucks had a stretch that they were playing great. Then you have to acknowledge that the Celtics had a stretch where they were clearly head and shoulders on top of the NBA. Then you got to respect the Celtics, right? But for some reason, people still don't take us seriously or not seriously enough. So I guess the Boston game, if we would beat them, maybe then finally we're going to get some respect. But I also feel you have to put things in context, right? Like I heard someone talk about TJ Warren, that he scored 2 points and then he scored 12 points. That dude hadn't played basketball in 2 years. What are you even talking about criticizing TJ Warren? I don't know, man. Like, I heard some crazy talk earlier, and I thought that was not going to happen, basically.
All right.
Hey, can I take this right quick, Chris?
Ooh.
Joe, let's think about it like this, right? They can do all that talking, and they still got to look up at us. You know what I'm saying? Like, only Boston fans could say different, but everybody else could talk all that they want to talk, but they got to look up at the standings to see, Brooklyn is number 2. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to be fair, Joe, Charlotte, Atlanta, Washington, Toronto, Detroit, Atlanta, Charlotte, San Antonio. That's 8 games that y'all should have won, and you did. Those are teams that you were demonstrably better than. So if you take those out, and we're just looking at against Boston, Indiana, Milwaukee, and Cleveland, the only convincing win you had was over Milwaukee. Every other game,
Cleveland, we were in control the entire game. We only let them get close in the end. But Cleveland was also
you were in control, but the game was under double digits. It was like 8-point game, right? Like that's what I'm saying is we give credit for the win streak because you play who you play, you beat who's in front of you. But when you start breaking down each individual matchup, the strength of the win streak versus the strength of, let's say, when the Detroit Pistons, not this year, this was the year before they won the championship when they were figuring out who they were. It went like on a 14-game win streak towards the end of the year, but every team they beat but one was like a playoff team. Like that's where the media is at. So they're playing this angle to purposely get more people to like hate click on Brooklyn Nets content. That's why you keep seeing more of this like are the Nets real? Can you really trust Kyrie? Like, that type of thing. So understand like what is actual ball versus what it is the media wants you to hear, see, and think.
Oh, I get it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because okay, Joe.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, and that's also drives engagement. I understand that, but I also must say, that everyone, plays the 82 game schedule, right? Like you said, we have to pray who's in front of us. And I also would wish, that despite the fact that they say these kind of things, to drive engagement, I do feel that there's still a little bit of a lack of respect. And I understand that people don't trust the Nets, but can we analyze the game and look at how they're playing? And then you can see that they're actually playing good basketball. That you can see that even despite the fact that Ben Simmons is not playing great offensively, he's doing so much for the team when it comes to assists, when it comes to defense, when it comes to, being at the right place when the Nets run a transition offense, right? So can we also talk about these things? And I think it annoys me that we don't talk about these things, right? Because I think we have something that we can sustain. Right, and we're going to have to see if it's sustainable long term. But I wish you would talk a little bit more basketball, because when Kyrie, tweeted the Amazon thing, people couldn't stop talking about the Nets. But now nobody talks about ball, and they said the Nets should be focused on basketball and not focus on the drama. There's no drama, but people don't talk basketball when it comes to the Nets. Only can we trust them, and is this real, and blah, blah, blah. I think that's unfortunate.
Oh, I would agree.
That's the point, because you know what? You heard all that talking and all the narratives and all the agendas in the beginning and stuff like that. But that's the goal right there. Now it's crickets. You don't hear nothing no more. All you hear is crickets. Nobody got nothing to say.
That's not really true. Like, it's the main bodies aren't covering it the way you want it to be covered, which is why I urge you to head over to Nets Kingdom on YouTube or here on the pre and post game spaces. And like, I remember telling all of you Nets fans, every single one of you who've been up and down, because all of you have been up and down, that you need to give it 35 games.
And I said, say that.
Yeah, and I said you'll get 35 games and you'll be a top 3 team. And look where y'all at.
Credit where credit's due. Like, I try to not get too low, and also now not get too high, because I'm not going to say that we're the best team in the league right now. We're the hottest team in the league, but we still have to prove a few things to say that we are the best team in the league. The only thing is that we're on a 12-game win streak. That's the longest win streak of the season. And if the Bucks, when they went on their win streak, they also beat a couple of shitty teams. And the Bucks were head and shoulders above the league, even without Chris Middleton. So everybody look out, right? But now we beat shitty teams, plus Cleveland, plus Milwaukee, and now we're not head and shoulders above the league. I just don't like the double standard. But you are right. The biggest issue is they're not covering the Nets the way I would want them to, and they talk way too much Lakers. But that's never going to change, because Lakers gets ratings. So every sports show talks about the Lakers all day, every day. It's never going to change.
We don't. We should, because it does. But they aren't that great. And also, if y'all didn't know, another reason why not to go to the beach, jellyfish. All right? Like, if you go to the beach, I guess, fine, cool. Don't go in the water. Why? Jellyfish. They kill 40+ people a year. They sting. It's not pleasant. It's very painful. We will go to a team that, similarly to the Brooklyn Nets, gets talked about a lot for dysfunction due to the actions of Draymond Green. They lose the best player that they've ever had in their life, and Steph Curry, to which I said to the Western Conference, please kick these dudes while they're down. Of course, they didn't. And now we have TJ up here to sing the glorious praises of the Golden State Warriors, who are now 2 games above 500 at 20-18 on a 5-game win streak. We will open up a question, however, with TJ. Are the Golden State Warriors better without Steph? Because I haven't heard that put out there yet. Last year, we was reaming Memphis and Ja.
Good morning, Chris. I'm not even going to answer that question because it's ludicrous. I want to do some housekeeping real quick before I get in to what I wanted to talk about. Please retweet the show card. You should do that as soon as you come into the space. It's just a recommendation, not a kind of thing. But the second thing is the sharks and cows. I don't like beef, but I kind of do because it's really good. So I'm going to say the Sharks. I don't really think I'm afraid of either one, but the Sharks in this scenario. And then the last thing is, me and you, Chris, we had this discussion at the beginning of the season about Clay or JP starting. After watching this game against the Hawks, I'm gonna say Clay should be the starter for this season. We'll worry about this next season. The guy had a great game, and he could have had more than 50 points if Jordan Poole just passed the ball a couple of times. But that was a very entertaining. Shout out to Looney, Kevon Looney. I said in the first maybe 3 minutes he made this move, and I was like, oh my goodness, Looney! I haven't seen footwork like that from him like ever. And he hit the game-winning shot. He put himself in the right position when the game counted the most. Shout out to Dante DiVincenzo hitting a clutch three, which I called in a live space before it happened. So shout myself out there. We're playing some teams that we should beat. So I'm not overly excited about this 5-game winning streak, but my avatar right here is another homage to Klay Thompson. It's starting to get a little misty out here. The buckets are starting to fall. We got rain here in the Bay Area. It's about to get really nasty when Steph comes back. We got Wiggins coming back pretty soon. I think he's going to be playing against Detroit. It's going to be very, 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 I'm using the word that KP doesn't want to use, scary, once we get this team healthy. I've been quiet for a little bit. I was in the bushes because I'm not going to talk about a team that's mid, but we're starting to turn the corner. It's going to be really nasty come the second half of this season. That's all I got.
All right. Appreciate it. There are amoebas and bacteria as well. I don't even want to get into that you can capture in those warm tropical climates. Quick question. How serious do you think the West needs to wake up and take these Golden State Warriors? Because what I'm seeing is they're starting to play even better on the road, despite that they only have a 3-16 away record. If they start winning more on the road, like we're talking, what, top 2, top 3 in the West, TJ?
I'd probably say top 2, but realistically, I don't see us improving that much on the road trips. So we'll probably be 3 or 4, realistically.
All right, cool. Jay, hop in here before we move over to Sean and talk some Knicks as they bounce back from a 5-game losing streak to win 2 in a row, including a drubbing of the Phoenix Suns.
I just wanted to ask my man Tiberius, has Steph missed enough games where he should give up his starting all-star spot?
To Jordan Poole.
Well played.
Stop. It's nasty work. And remember, I said I didn't care whether or not Clay started or came off the bench. You could put Wiggins off the bench if you wanted. I just thought that starting JP next to Curry and Wiggins gives them the best lineup possible. Because again, Clay gave you 54. You could have more, but like, do you really think he's gonna be doing that every day?
No, but hey, when we have these nice Clay nights, it's beautiful to watch. Man, the guy was hitting everything.
No, I feel you. I'm just asking. Here's another animal to be afraid of. This is the assassin bug. Kills about 10 to 12,000 people a year. It bites you, sucks your blood, and transmits a disease called the Chagas disease, which causes inflammation in human tissue.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
What region of the world is this at?
That is in South and Central and North America, Southern North America. They're starting to make their way up here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No.
Hey, can I ask TJ a question?
Real quick.
Yeah, real quick. My question is, do you see the Warriors making any trade before the trade deadline?
it's more of a buyout in my opinion. I think the three people that are pretty much a consensus pick to get off the Warriors would be number 40, Ty Jerome, and JaMychal Green. And if you realistically think any team would be reaching out for those three players in a trade, it'd be something as like a filler piece. But I'm looking buyout personally.
Joel, we're getting word that you should go as Prince and your wife should go as Madonna. There you go.
But Chris,
What?
can you hear me? Did
Yeah.
you say this was better than Michael Jackson?
Say what?
Oh wow! Don't do it.
Say
Did you
what?
say Weird Al was better than Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Don't do
Bro,
it.
you need to be
Don't fall for the screen,
this
man.
isn't-
Just go
this
around
isn't-
it. Go under.
Like this is like not even complicated.
You need to be tested, bro. Just seriously.
I have been tested and my IQ is extremely high.
He went for it.
Like what are we arguing here? Like Rolling Stone just put out the greatest singers and Michael Jackson was 86th.
That was blasphemy, bro.
No, it's not. It is not blasphemy.
Okay, can you at least tell me what's the number one song from Weird Al?
2023.
So too many people, like it was you and Joe talking. It's not blasphemy, right? Like it's a dude who played a bit who could dance. He ain't better than Stevie, he ain't better than Aretha, and he ain't better than Prince.
So what's your favorite song from Weird Al that you feel like is just number one that's just better than Michael Jackson?
Well, Eat It was better than Beat It.
I wish I could boot you from your own space.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Hey, no, go put it on the poll. Let's put it up there on the poll.
See, the problem with that is like you're talking sentimentality, and I'm talking technicians. Like, are you telling me that Weird Al was not far more creative than Michael Jackson?
When was the last time you played Eat It?
No.
Actually, I have a 9-year-old, Sean, like 2 days ago. He loves it. He gets a kick out of it. He thinks Weird Al is a phenomenal poet, writer, and short storyteller. I hear Weird Al 4 days a week. Never get tired of him. Michael Jackson, I've been there, done that.
Any list of 100 singers that does not include Celine Dion should just be completely disregarded.
I disagree.
And so wait, you don't have Celine Dion in the top 100 singers of all time?
I don't. Celine Dion. My mother loves Celine Dion, and it put me to sleep.
Listen, bro. I don't know what's worse.
She's the female Michael Bolton.
That's a diss, and that is
you daggone right.
To Celine Dion. That is this is I don't know if this is trolling.
Look,
I don't know if this is trolling anymore. Like
Celine Dion is literally the Fabio of music.
Oh my goodness, Chris!
What?
And I
Chris doesn't understand me. Chris has self-admitted that he doesn't understand. He doesn't keep up with a lot of music, so I'm not surprised by this.
How you doing, Sean? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Knicks win 2 in a row. I think that's called a winning streak. I'll tell a quick story. I was in Miami last week, and I was like, I'm going to watch this Knicks game against the Mavs. And it was on NBA TV. And my hotel room had every channel except for NBA TV. No, it had NBA TV, but it wouldn't work. Like, I would go to NBA TV, the screen would be black. So I was like, all right, I'll just go to the bar. I go to the bar, and they have, like, NFL Network on. I'm like, bro, put the Knicks game on. And it was like, I don't know how to do it. Here's a remote. It gives you the remote. They don't have NBA TV. So I'm sitting at the bar watching the game from my phone at the bar with my $19 glass of rosé. Shout out South Beach, and that's where I saw. So that's where I saw the foolishness and the fuckery that happened. And honestly, when the and won by Luka, when they after the hell ball and the and won by Luka, that's why I was like, I think I know where this is going. And then, so that combined with what happened against the Bulls, which I was in the building for, was not very nice. And then, then after that shit on Tuesday, on Thursday, I said, you know what? I am scheduling dinner reservations at 7:30, so I do not have to watch these clowns against the Spurs. And I'm glad I did, because then it wouldn't wet the bed against the Spurs. I did go to Prime 112. Chris, I looked at the lobster tempura, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I said, this is my first visit here. Let me actually get a steak. And plus, my son loves steak. So,
Yeah,
but
I
next
don't blame
time,
you. I don't blame you.
So next time, lobster tempura for real. Prime 112 was amazing. Last thing I want to say, enough about the Knicks talk, because the sons of Devin Booker are actually exactly who I thought they would be, knife seeding coming. But as I've said on this, as I said in these spaces, I've said it for years. By the time you get to Christmas, basically that's who you are. Maybe if you may move up a space or down a space, but that's where you are. Where you are in standings right now is where you're probably going to be, unless you have an all-time great player returning to your team who's currently injured, or if you decide to listen to your head coach and play defense like the Boston Celtics did last year. So it is no longer Christmas. It is New Year's. It is January 3rd. So look at the schedule now. That's where you are, probably within one or two spots. So just get used to it. So if you're thinking like, oh, there's going to be this big, like, for example, let's say you're the 9th seed. Oh, we're going to have this big run. Nope, it's probably not going to happen. This is where you are. That's all. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, you're going to have a big run up to the 7th seed and back down to the 8th.
Basically. JFK has his hand up. JFK.
Yeah, Sean, I want to give a shout out to that restaurant that didn't show the Knicks game. Miami is all about customer service, so if they would have thrown that on, I'm not sure if their volume would have stayed afloat. So make sure you enjoy the drinks. You enjoyed the drinks. Hopefully, you enjoyed the steak and whatnot. You should turn on to a Heat game. We was winning, so shouts out to you. Hope you come back.
So you want to hear a funny story? So that was Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we went out to this taco spot on like 11th and Collins. It's in the Dream Hotel. I forget the name of it. Naked Taco, yes. And they had NBA. That spot had NBA TV, and the Lakers Heat game was coming on. And then I'm like, okay, I'll watch Lakers Heat. I actually thought about going to the game, but I was like, whatever. But basketball I've just turned off my basketball after what happened the day before. And then at 8 o'clock or whatever, 7:30, the screen goes black and it says, "Oh, this game is blacked out." I was like, "Oh, because it's the Heat game, so it's on Bally Sports, Florida." So I go to the guy and I'm like, "Can you put the Heat game on? Should be on Bally Sports." They're like, "Cool." He goes, bring out the remote. The dude does not have Bally Sports. So it's like, oh, wait a minute, let me get this straight. Y'all don't even subscribe to the freaking network that has your Heat games? That's amazing. You cannot walk into a bar in New York that doesn't have MSG. Be ashamed of yourself.
Hold on, Sean. The question is, what percentage tip did you leave?
Oh, I tipped 20%. That's standard.
Wow. Moved up from 15 to 20 as standard. Damn.
Yeah, especially during the pandemic and what the service industry workers are going through. Yeah, 20%.
You're a good man, Sean.
For you, then.
And there's also like Miami in general hates Bally's coverage. I don't blame them because their coverage is some of the worst in the league.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on. Shouts out to Eric Reed. He's probably one of the best telecasters that's been doing it for years upon years. I don't mind Bally's because they have Eric Reed. I just don't like the whole organization. I think it's no different than Sun Sports.
Yeah, Eric Reed is good. I personally think the best is Mark Jones and Sack, followed by the team in Houston. I think Mike Breen, as long as he wants to talk basketball, rounds up the top 3. But Eric Reed is definitely top 7. Well, look, man, like his compatriots drag him down. I can't say it any nicer. Like, I just can't. And like, if you're watching it, JF, because like he's carrying the broadcast.
Yes, because Tony Ferrantino's not there. We have John Crotty, but to be honest with you, they probably hate him because they tell the truth. He tells the truth about their players. Like when he made that comment about Blake Griffin not being able to dunk or hasn't made a dunk in 5 years, like a lot of people got on his case for that. He was just pointing out the facts. Chris.
And I also find it extremely funny that the Sixers broadcast team and the Heat broadcast team are eerily similar. Take that as you will.
I will say this. For me, the Wally, not Wally, Mike Green and Clyde Frazier are easily in the top 3 of home broadcasts. I don't say this as a Knicks fan because I didn't realize, and the New Yorkers, the people from New York who watch League Pass realize, I didn't realize until I started watching League Pass how homerific local broadcast teams are. It is awful.
I watched the Rockets versus the Spurs, right? And let me tell you something. Nobody had more fun than Ryan Hollins.
No, he's good. He's actually funny. He's funny.
Oh, he is. He's hilarious. If he does not get picked up by a network, the network's failed. He does it right. But the issue is the homerism, to Sean's point. Like, I think there was a sequence where Houston missed 7 shots in a row. And he was so happy and positive that all you could do was smile at the horrible basketball that you were watching. It works.
I think it's us. I think it's the Nets, Iron Eagle, and Sarah Costa can call it right down the middle. I don't know if Boston is bad. Well, Tommy Heinsohn ain't around no more. I don't know if it's that they're homers or if it's that the accent just bothers me. Right?
Boston is horrible.
All of them are meat riders.
So they're all listen, honestly, it's them. It's the Lakers broadcast is pretty good. I like Mark Jones in Sacramento. After that, like, it's just ugh.
Hey,
Washington used to have a good one. Washington used to have a good
all of them are meat riders. All of them.
Oh, jeez, Anthony.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Someone said it. Thank you.
Anthony's being his usual curmudgeon.
No, he's right. Most of it's bad.
No, listen. The Grayson,
well, it's supposed to be bad.
Grayson Allen, DeMar DeRozan shit thing happened. Yo, Chicago fucking announcers were going crazy. Oh, this is what he do. I'm like, yo, he didn't even push him. Hey, yo,
it's what they're supposed to do, and there was contact. 3 games tonight. Three games. 3 games tonight. Milwaukee hosts Washington on NBA TV. Then at 8:00, Oklahoma City hosts Boston, League Pass, and then 9:00, Utah hosts Sacramento, League Pass. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is an all-star. Reserve. He'll probably likely get a starting spot if Steph misses an extended period of time, or if Devin Booker misses an extended period of time. It's good news for SGA. I have an issue with the team lack of success, so to speak. Wanted to get that out there, and also big ups to again Charlotte for trading SGA to the Clippers, and big ups to the Clippers for trading SGA to Oklahoma City. Shout out Danny D, who's joining us down below. Also, I missed out. Shout outs into the third hour, so let me do that now. Saint from Nest Kingdom is in the building. Killer Gaddafi's here. Rels Pell. Shout out to Nicole holding down the Memphis Street Blues here. Issa Akari is in the building if you need a photographer that's high level, award winning, and you are in the New York metro area, or you want to go ahead and bring him out to where you are. Make sure you shoot him a follow. Does great things in terms of brand promotion that you haven't even realized that's his work. Coach Roach has joined us from the northern border to talk about how wonderfully bad those Toronto Raptors are. We'll get to him in a second. But this show brought to you by slamgoods.com. If you look up on the big board, ladies and gentlemen, I put out my Kobe trilogy. It is still in the plastic. It will never leave the plastic until the day it gets framed. It will stay in the plastic, right? That's how dope this was. Because I actually remember reading 2 of the 3 episodes or issues, because I keep interchanging them. 10 years ago, 15 years ago for one of them. Kobe's an icon, and they did a really good job preserving the humanity of Kobe Bryant. So if you go back into these rewind series, you're seeing how they covered him in real time as the person and player more than just the production on the court. And right now they have one of the tribute packages on sale for $24. That tweet is up there. If you go there, you're getting it on sale for $24. You use promo code HoopSpaces, you save an additional 15%. And then put that money in a piggy bank. And then every time you save a little bit of money, put that money in a piggy bank. And then when you hit $50, head over to the Hoop Spaces merch page and buy yourself a hoodie. Hopefully soon to be on slamgoods.com. Slamgoods.com, the sponsor of Hoop Spaces Season 2. Promo code works site-wide. Head over there now. Tell them I sent you. Appreciate it. Sean, question.
Yes, sir.
Do you do New Year's resolutions?
Not usually, but I actually do have one this year.
All right. You want to share?
Sure. It's to achieve clarity and balance. Well, first it was balance because I felt like things in my life this past year were very like unbalanced. It was like I was going one extreme to another. Like I was going a lot for work, and then I was home, and then moving, and then it's like was I, spending enough time with my family and balancing that and work and personal like hang out with friends and things like that. So I thrive. I pride myself in achieving balance, and I think clarity helps you achieve that balance. So it actually took. So then what I started doing was I actually started actually found a tweet that actually helped me. I'm going to post it in Jumbotron that helped me find. Like I review the things that I do on a consistent basis, figure out what do I need to prioritize, what do I need to deprioritize, what things to take out completely, and stuff like that. So that's really my resolution, just to achieve balance through achieving clarity, which yields to balance in your life.
All right. I struggle with this question because, like, I as you probably can figure out, I'm a very what's the word I want to look so that I'm not so overly self-deprecating.
Peculiar.
Sure.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, like I'm a very methodical process person, but like my process is outside of like mainstream because my situation affords me the ability to have a safety net, right? So like the clarity aspect, I want to congratulate you on because I think a lot of people overlook a simple yet powerful resolution, right? The idea of change. Sometimes you hear me say, my biggest goal in life is being 1% better the next day, right? So I've been struggling because I was asked by somebody famous, like, hey, you want to share your New Year's resolution on this thread? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I struggle with that. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what my New Year's resolution is. TJ, you do that? You got one?
Say that again. You broke
New Year's
up.
resolution?
It's funny. I was saying, try not to say sayings like it is what it is. Shout out to KP. Also saying things like at the end of the day. Shout out to Danny D. And then like just really just be healthy and mindful for other people, showing empathy. That's my main goal, is to just show more empathy to people.
Oh, yeah, that goal's going to fail as soon as the Golden State Warriors become the second team in the West. I can hear it now. I hear it now. Like, yeah, empathy, what's that? Take this Steph Curry 3 and like it. Jada Wakandan, you got one?
New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
Productivity. There were certain goals I wanted to hit last year, and it kind of weren't my fault. There's a project management professional cert that I've been chasing for like 6 months, but every time I get the money to take the test, something happens. So I want to get that knocked out, and then I got some side projects going as a business development person. So I just want to be productive in the new year.
I don't ever see you not being productive. Like, what do you do that you're not telling us that you're so unproductive?
Nah, it's and it just may be my personality type. I'm trying to help somebody launch a podcast. We got them sponsorship. Well, it was their relationship. I just made the pitch deck and gave them like the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 model because they knew what they had to do, but they're doing it day to day, and so they can't see the forest because of the trees, type of deal.
All right.
And that's kind of what I do. And so
So productive for me means there's a nonprofit out in Oakland that I'm helping. There is Special Olympics registration here in the state of Mississippi that I'm kind of consulting on, and I just want to help them. I just want to be productive.
All right. Anthony's got one. He was trying to share, but I was going in order, so he was already ready. Anthony, please tell me that your New Year's resolution is to quit eating Pop-Tarts.
No, it's not it. It's not it. Actually, they got Snickerdoodle Pop-Tarts now. Shit's fire. Fire. Okay.
Get out. Look, you are an
Go
adult.
pick it up.
Like,
Pick it up
we
in
got to
local
get
Walmart.
you off this Pop-Tart, man.
Pick it
Like,
up in your local
why can't
Walmart.
you get a
Aisle
cheese
5
Danish?
in the cereal section. Go pick it up, y'all.
That is
Mine is
disgusting.
just to stay consistent, man. Stay in shape. 2 weeks ago, I actually won my summer league, best rebounding MVP. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of good. I'm out there running with the young boys. Trying to stay in shape and stuff. And another one.
Like you said, summer league in the
I
middle
mean,
of
not summer
December.
league, but my regular league. Goddamn, you know what I mean? Shit. Goddamn, you know what I mean? My other one, for all New York Knicks fans, to stop hating on Julius Randle. I'm talking to Sean too. Please stop.
I've been listening.
Stop.
I stopped hating on Julius.
Whatever.
Julius Randle's an all-star.
All-star starter.
He's an
He's
all-star
an
now.
all-star starter right now.
Is he?
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
of Knicks fans regarding Julius Randle?
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What is the big change? What is the big change? Him accepting, changing his role? Him accepting his
Him being
role?
aggressive.
Like, what
That's
is...
what aggressive. Be aggressive.
He ain't. Obi Toppin is injured, so he doesn't have to worry about Jericho
I'm not
Sims
worried about
taking
Obi
his place.
Toppin.
The biggest change, Malika, is that he basically eliminated all the long twos from his shot diet. So if you look at his shot chart, everything's either behind arc or in the paint. So even he'll start
So he
on the
adjusted his
block.
game a little. He
Yeah.
adjusted his...
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll start on the elbow or he'll start on the wing, but he will bully and back his way into the paint and then take the shot. So his efficiency, he's more efficient now during his All NBA season 2 years ago, which I will say does bring a little bit of joy because now all the empty gyms jokes, clearly that's no longer the case. The kid is the dude is actually quite good.
I just want to shout out Julius Randle's year anniversary of giving the Garden thumbs down.
That was last year.
Career year. He with his game against the Suns, he has now surpassed his highest scoring average. If he continues it up, he'll have a career year. He's averaging 24.2, 9.9 rebounds, 3.8 assists. His all NBA year, as Sean was alluding to, he averaged 24, 10, and 6. I don't think he's going to get the 6 assists because Jalen Brunson is there. The killer part is his 3-point. If he can get a half or more 3 per game, because he's taking 7.5 per game, we could be looking at a 25-point per game Julius Randle leading the New York Knicks to the playoffs, Sean.
Yes, I think the Knicks will. I had the Knicks as a 45-win team. I had them in the play-in at round 7. Yes, that will actually happen. And I think the Knicks PTSD of we can get to the playoffs and get embarrassed again. It's no, this team is much more different. There's no, I just can't focus on Julius and because everyone else is just not ready. But yeah, he's playing. Listen, he's playing at an all-star level. Period.
You know who's not playing at an all-star level? Everybody on the Atlanta Hawks.
Somehow,
what is going on
there? Somehow,
there?
Trae Young is
What
going
is
to be a
going
starter.
on there?
Trae Young is going to be a starter. I'm
Like,
not mad about Trae Young being a starter. I'm not mad.
Because he's going to be voted in. He's been playing like cheeks, as you would say.
I don't want to see Jalen Brunson as a starter. Don't get me wrong, my guy.
He's a Knicks fan, Sean, and he's saying no to Jalen Brunson in the All-Star.
Not starting. I'm sorry. Not starting.
All right.
I don't think Jalen's going to start. I always thought that Jalen would get in over. I didn't see a world where we'd have 2 All-Stars, and I thought the coaches would pick Jalen over Julius because of Julius's forces last year. But now it's he's forcing the issue. They can't do that. So
Here are 4 players that I would pick ahead of Jalen Brunson. Kyrie Irving, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Tyler Hero.
Say those names again.
Kyrie Irving,
Starter.
Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Tyler Hero.
Starter. Okay. So
I think Kyrie might start.
Kyrie and Mitchell are going to start.
Yes.
You go put Trick.
Like Kyrie popularity, and then go ahead.
Garland gets in because they're 24-14, and believe it or not, there is a huge groundswell of love for Darius Garland amongst the NBA brethren.
Where do you have Jaylen Brown?
He's not a point guard. I was going on point guards.
Somebody told me he
comparing against Jalen Brunson.
I'm just going guards, period. I'm talking about.
I was just doing point guards, and like mind you, those 4 names that I picked are ahead of Trae Young too, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Mitchell ain't a point guard.
Well, he when Darius Garland was out, he was, and he's gotten half his time at point guard. And like, by the way, this is me discounting Tyrese Halliburton, who I think is actually the best point guard in the East, because I don't think anybody's going to vote for him because he's in Indiana.
No, I vote for him.
Well, you're different, Anthony. Look where you were.
I vote for him here and there, not every day, but I vote.
I think he will. So I think the funny thing is, I think for the bench, it might come down to Jalen versus Halliburton, and I think Halliburton will win.
Well, I think you're right. It's going to come down between Halliburton, Jaylen Brown, and Trae, and I don't think Halliburton's going to win.
Make sure y'all vote Paolo
And I think
too. Make sure y'all put a vote in, my boy.
Stop it.
Put a vote in, my boy.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
isn't that a coach's vote, though?
Stop it, TJ. Don't
right?
The coaches vote the
coach's
reserves.
vote, right,
The
though,
coaches vote the
Sean
reserves.
and
Yeah, the
Lucas?
coaches vote the reserves, and the starters are now a conglomerate of fans, players, and media. So I think, so one of these 3 will. I can see one of these 3 not making the game entirely, which is Kyrie. Actually, no, Mitchell. To start, Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell. Who's the third guy we just said? Trae.
Hero.
Trae. Of those 3, 2 of them will get voted in, and if they and then of those 2, if they don't get voted, I can see them not making the game. Like if Trae doesn't get voted in, I can see the coach
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
And Donovan Mitchell will get picked definitely get picked by the coach. He's not a starter, and then Kyrie, if he don't get in, the coaches are definitely gonna tell him to go scratch.
And Tyler Hero also not making it.
Yeah.
Even though he should. In my opinion.
I didn't think about him.
He was never making.
I didn't think about him.
Jay, the Wakandan, hop in here, then we're going to go to Coach Roach, and then we'll get a couple of more New Year's resolutions in. As I still struggle to figure out what the heck I would put as mine, I do want to remind everybody that I am struggling in my New Year's resolutions, much like the Toronto Raptors are struggling playing professional basketball. Jay, the Wakandan, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask Sean, if the Knicks finish top 5, top 6, when does Thibodeau get his extension, and how does he feel about that? Because it's happening. He only has 3 years left on his contract. If he finishes top 5,
Why are you
top 6,
doing
he's
that?
getting an extension. He
has hold on. He has 2 years left after this.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I wouldn't care if he gets an extension because the owner of the basketball team will give you an extension and then fire your ass expeditiously. So that doesn't matter. Like, it is one thing that we don't have to worry about. It's like, oh, we locked into this extension. Not this guy. Like, this is the same James Dolan who signed Larry Brown to 5 years, $60 million. After a year, was like, I've had enough of you. So I'm not worried about that. As I've said, what will happen is the Julius ain't going nowhere until the star trade happens because his salary will be used in the star trade, which is one of the main reasons why they re-signed him to the deal in the first place, which actually now looks like a freaking bargain. And then once the star trade happens, don't ask me for who, but once the star trade happens, that will be the player that'll be like, listen, this dude, is going to be full Kenny Atkinson. It's like, this guy, I've had enough of him. And they will promptly bump him up into another role in the front office.
Trade for Devin Booker to the New York Knicks incoming. We'll go to Coach Roach so he can go ahead and explain why the Toronto Raptors are struggling as I am doing my New Year's resolution.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're well. Happy New
Doing well.
Year's.
Happy
Better
New Year.
than Fred VanVleet and Malachi Flynn shooting right now. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I was like listening to your talks about the Knicks and broadcasters and stuff like that. Look, I think the Knicks, you guys are set up in a pretty good position moving forward. I think you have 3 first-round picks potentially this year. Get your own Washingtons and Dallases. This is a deep draft this year, so it's a good time to have multiple picks in this draft. That's for sure, to add to the talent base that you do have. Last night, we've all heard it's a make or miss league, and it was a miss league for us last night. We had a ton of open threes that did not go. Most of them were shot by Fred, but OG actually missed quite a few threes last night as well. The Raptors are running out of time, and the January 15th deadline is coming up soon. I'm guessing a move will be made or two, but it's tough right now. It's really tough, and being in Raptors Nation and trying just to go through this. I mean, we had expectations this year of being a top 4 to 6 team. We finished 5th last year. Now injuries has been a major part this year. I mean, we've had Fred out, we've had Trent out, we've had OG out, Pascal was out, Precious Achiuwa was out. Precious Achiuwa came back yesterday. His defense was really good. But once again, with this team, it is a make or miss league, and we really struggle hitting 3-pointers. So, and that's something Indiana does very well.
As we talk about struggling, grade the Toronto Raptors announces Matt Devlin and Alvin Williams.
A+. No, sorry, Jack Armstrong. No,
well, he's the color guy, right?
Well, they both are. So sometimes it's Alvin Williams, sometimes it's Jack Armstrong.
Well, Alvin is not supposed to be the color guy. He's supposed to be the analyst. That's the problem.
Sorry. Yeah, he's the analyst. And Matt Devlin's he calls the game.
He's the play-by-play.
Play-by-play, yes. And Jack Armstrong, he's the analyst too. But you guys want to look at some funny videos. You want to look up Jack Armstrong on YouTube funny moments. Oh, it take a few minutes and watch. You'll laugh.
Yeah, I can't really ever buy into a TSN broadcast, man.
Fair
like
enough.
I try, and if, for people who don't know, Matt Devlin is a giant in this league. He started at NBA TV back when it launched in '98 or '99, and then he was the Grizzlies play-by-play guy, and then he's been, I think, at the Raptors ever since. And he does a solid job, but he doesn't necessarily bring the same type of gravity, I think, like Mike Breen does. Jack Armstrong can be funny. I think Alvin has some room to grow. Let me just put it that way.
That's fair enough. I think this is his first year kind of doing this.
It's his second.
Well.
Yeah, it's his second.
It's his second year. Okay, yeah. But Raptors they're in a tough spot. That's for sure. They're below the play-in now. I think they're right around with Washington, Chicago. The Raptors, Washington, Chicago are all in the same spot right now.
Yeah, that's not good.
I mean, Chicago's got problems with Levine and DeRozan and all the rumors there. In Washington, it's Beal. He's been hurt quite a bit. Porzingis, player of the week, playing really well, playing probably the best basketball of his career so far. I think I can make that argument. And with him, it's just been his health, more or less. So I don't know. Like, let me ask you guys. You guys are external to the Raptors, like most of you. Like, what are your thoughts on this team? What they should do move forward? Do you keep it going the way it is? Do they make a deal? Like, what do you guys think? I'm curious to hear from you. Thank you.
They have to decide who and what Scotty Barnes is first, and then they have to figure out who they can keep next to Scotty Barnes. Sean, what do you got?
I was gonna say that we're in a similar and when I say to everyone, all of us are mid, just the certain teams may look better than others. The Knicks and Raptors are very similar, even to the point that they have a power forward who could play at an all-NBA level, who is not going to lead you to a title. So, to your point, Chris, I said a while ago, it's okay, figure out, if they were to, quote-unquote, blow it up, You keep Scotty. You find a guard, and then you find a guard to pair. You find a guard to pair with Scotty, and you use the pieces that you have to see if you can trade for that guard. Because again, especially since OG is going to walk in, I think he's a free agent 24. Yeah, he's a free agent 24. OG is going to walk. I think Pascal's a free agent 24. Fred is coming up with free agency soon. Like, this might be the time to pivot. And I said to someone on Twitter, I said to someone on the timeline who's like, you don't know Masai if you think he'll blow it up. I said, you don't know Masai if you think he won't blow it up. Masai is not trying to just waffle in, like 39 wins for the next 4 years. Like, nah, I think he'll go in one direction or the other. But the direction is, figure out if Scotty's the man and then pair him with a guard.
There you go. We're running out of time, Coach. Give yourself 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think Masai is going to go for the play-in. He literally said 2 years ago, play-in for what? I don't think he is a fan of the play-in tournament. I think there is an argument, though, that they want to help Pascal Siakam this year because, like Randall, he's having a very, very good year. He's an all-star, potential all-NBA player, potential. And there's a lot of debate on, do we try to bring at least some short-term help for him now? Because clearly this team needs a center that can play. We got bullied by Steven Adams and Zubac and every other center in the league.
Well, they did that path. They did that path last year, and you're paying for it this year. All right, I got to get going. I need to ask Malika, though. No problem. I need to ask Malika what her New Year's resolution is because I have not asked, and I want to make sure that she's availed the opportunity to tell us what her thoughts and plans are for success this year.
Continue my journey to healthy. And because it is a journey and I'm on the right path, launch my podcast and finally get that off the ground and be consistent with content there first and foremost. And make sure and continue to develop in my career. I think sometimes when people get MBAs, they forget about certifications and other types of things to keep the knowledge fresh. And I reached a point where I need to get some type of certification to refresh my skills. So those are my three, really, and that's what I'm focused on. And anything that leads to that is what my priority is. So going to the gym, eating healthy, taking LinkedIn Learning and other courses, and signing up for some certification programs. That's my focus.
All right.
I'm gonna leave out, like budget, personal budget, and all that. I think everybody does that, so I'm not even gonna mention that. But that's something else. That is.
Well, the way I tell people the budget is you sit down on the 29th, the 2nd, and the 15th. All right. You pay all your bills for the following month on the 29th. You sit down on the 1st or the 2nd to make sure you caught up all the bills. And then on the 15th, you review what you've been able to do and accomplish. And that's how I do it. It's how I'm able to.
No, I got my system. I just had to revise some things. I mean, I'm a finance person.
All right.
I know what to do.
Cool. I struggle with this question. Like I'm a very deep thinker. So the person who asked, they're like, well, do you want to get picked up by like a major network? And I'm like, well, of course, but like I'm already trying to work for that, and I'm hoping to have more news in the next 7 to 10 days. And then they're like, well, what about this? And it's like, well, I've already thought about that, and I've been trying to do this to address that. And like I find myself living in a perpetual cycle of continuance. So like when I sit down and say, oh, what's one thing that I want to do? Like I don't ever know. I'm just wondering if anybody else struggles like that, because like I really do. It's a paralyzing question. So like I could go the easy way. And then I could say, for my New Year's resolution, I'm only going to show you pictures of greatness. But then, like, that limits me to pictures of Doc Rivers, Coleslaw, Prince, and a handful of other items. So, like, I will then say I'm going to continue to endeavor to bring you an unfiltered, objective, and honest fact and opinion on food. But that's not really a New Year's resolution because I'm going to continue to tell you that French fries are overrated. Like they are the Utah Jazz of side items. It just is what it is. Like shout out to KP. And at the end of the day, French fries are merely French fries. Shout out to Danny D. And like we need to put them in their proper place. And that is just as like a side additive for your viewing pleasure. Similar to the Utah Jazz. Like, you don't want to go to Utah. None of you do. Like, if you were giving All-Star Game tickets, like, you would really say, like, do I want to go? Like, how much can I get for these tickets? But if they're playing your team, you're going to watch them. Just like French fries. Like, it's sick.
I don't know, man, because that rookie they got, Kessler, I've started to watch him just because I'm amazed.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. Like, as a rookie, it's nuts. He might be top 7 defensive center in the league.
He and Vanderbilt are going to be a defensive nightmare come next season.
Yeah, man.
And all of y'all who think you can trade for Vanderbilt, stop it. Put down the trade machine. I've said it since the beginning of the season. That Rudy Gobert trade was 4 picks in Vanderbilt. Ainge specifically wanted Vanderbilt. He would not budge off of Vanderbilt, and that's why they got Vanderbilt. The T-Wolves are trying to send a combination of Reed and Noel, and they said no. We want Vanderbilt.
Can I use the what you call it now? The selection?
What?
Because that was doing something over there.
Oh, okay. We appreciate you, Joe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it.
You going to me? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Like the show's over, Joe. The show's over.
I'm gonna work anyway. Sorry.
It's all good.
Go Clippers!
I don't know why you would say that here. Like, we feel sad for you. We are literally going to pull out the world's smallest violin and play for you that we are sorry and sad. Ladies and gentlemen, we are entering year 3, continuing season 2 of Hoop Spaces. Shout out to the sponsor, slamgoods.com. Head over there, use promo code Hoop Spaces, save 15% on your entire purchase. Shout out to the partners of Playback TV. You know, we'll get that back up and running. Audiolabs.io for converting and producing the space over to YouTube. More to come in 2023. The review on Substack comes back tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. to talk hoops. Appreciate y'all. Peace.